Our new partner who I'm really, really excited to announce we are working with. Super, super stoked. Thank you, Angie Huberman, for this connect. It's incredible. AG1 Athletic Greens. I've been using them for a while. I have them every morning on an empty stomach. Basically take one scoop and you put it into a cup or glass or mug of 8 ounces of cold water. And this is all your greens for the day. You're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens. Every day I take this. It's so good for my digestion, my energy. It's simple. It's easy. I don't like taking a lot of vitamins. This has been really, really helpful for me. I've had a lot of stomach issues my whole life, and ever since I've been gluten-free and taking the AG1s, it's really helped me in my stomach in the mornings. I love it, and I'm so psyched that they're part of the One Life One Chance podcast. I'm sure a lot of people don't like eating greens, let alone drinking your greens, but I can tell you straight up, it's got a mild tropical taste, and the taste is actually really refreshing, and I really look forward to it each morning. Don't think it's just going to be just straight bland. It tastes really, really good, and it's good for you, so remember that. This one blend of ingredients supports your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, your energy, recovery, focus, and aging. It's incredible, just one scoop, especially for musicians who are vegans or just musicians in general who want to get those daily greens. You can get the packets. It's incredible. I just gave some to my friend Derek from Sepultura. He traveled the whole entire world this summer, and he had those every single day. He said it saved him. I bring AG1s with me when I travel. It helps me stay healthy. You know the deal. If you're on tour and you are a picky eater, but you need to have your greens, sometimes catering doesn't have greens. Sometimes you miss the catering. Sometimes you miss the backstage food. Sometimes it's too late after the show to go get food that you like. So if you just have a scoop of AG1s in your hotel room before you go to bed, or you're in the hotel room at night and you're starving and you want something healthy, boom, life changer. Right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with some convenient daily nutrition. That's all you need, one scoop in a cup every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. This is it. I'm super psyched. And to make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/OLLC. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/OLLC to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. This is incredible. I love it. It's just basic greens. For me personally, this has changed my life tremendously. I'm not a junk food vegan. I don't eat a lot of fake meats, so I'm strictly greens. And this has been a wonderful, wonderful new addition to my life. So once again, visit athleticgreens.com/OLLC. and get 1 free year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. athleticgreens.com/OLOC. Yo, Liquid Death, thank you so much for hydrating all my guests, taking care of me and my family and my friends. Love your water, love your brand, love what you stand for, love what you give back to the community. If you want to learn more about Liquid Death and how it started, listen to episode 115 with the co-founder, owner, and creator of Liquid Death, Mike Cesario. Just a punk rock skateboarding kid from Delaware with a dream. It's an incredible story, incredible journey. They have now blessed me with my own code. So if you go liquiddeath.com/Toby, you get free shipping on any items you order from liquiddeath.com. Thank you so much, Liquid Death. Death to plastic, murder your thirst. Stay hydrated. You know H2O saves lives. Hey, everybody. Just a heads up for this episode. We weren't going to release it. We've been working on this for months. There was a technical difficulty with Derek's microphone, but it's too good of an episode not to release with John Salley. Incredible conversation, incredible gems. This dude's a comedian. Chappelle's in here as well. It's a great combo. Just giving you guys a heads up. Enjoy. Welcome to the One Life One Chance podcast. I'm your host, Toby Morse. Today I got my brother from another mother back with me next to me, Mr. Derek Green.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. And then we got the legend in front of me, the first ever pro athlete, retired, but still incredible legend, Mr. John Salley. Thank you so much.
I love that
for
intro.
being here. It's the first one ever to be here on my podcast.
Really?
And I know nothing about sports. Obviously, I learned so much about him from that Jordan documentary.
Wow.
We talked all about it. I didn't grow up into sports. I was this punk rock skateboarder. Sports weren't cool. But then I learned to love basketball from that documentary series.
That's dope.
It was incredible.
I don't know anything about sports either. I knew if I had to do it, it was part of the culture. And you don't get jumped by gangs when you're dribbling a basketball and you got the team jacket on. It's a fact right there.
Did you play any other sports besides basketball, though?
Yeah, I played football first, and my brother's a quarterback. My brother Ron was like in the last cut of the Baltimore Colts, and and I thought we were moving to Long Island. It was like a scene from Raisin in the Sun, man. We ain't gotta go. What happened to my goat kart? So I caught the ball one time. I did a button hook. My brother threw me the ball. I caught it. I turned, and this dude laid me out. I took my helmet off. You're not, man. You a Sally, man. I was like, it's cold. This is nasty. I'm out. I took my helmet. I had a Raider helmet. I was gone. And I remember going, and I went into a gym, and it was hot, and girls were in there.
How old were you then?
6.
Wow.
No, I made the decision at 6. I was around, I don't know, 11 or 12, and that's when, like, it's not peewee. You're playing with, like, all the teenagers. I was tall, then I could run. And in New York, you got to grow up fast. So people were having sex at 12. One of my best friends had his first kid at 15.
Wow.
So everything is done fast.
And what part of Brooklyn was that?
Canarsie.
Which is so different now, man. New York's so different now, man.
Oh, yeah.
All those boroughs, man.
It's Flossie now. Now it's all Haitian. It's called Flossie. What's up, Flaw? You from Flossie? All them Haitians flossing off their stuff.
Maybe East New York might be the same. That might be the one spot. I don't know.
You see, they just have a new show called East New York. A new crime show.
Wow.
Called East New York.
Wow.
Like NYPD. I was like, wow. Go to the pink houses.
You wouldn't even really mention East New York when we lived in New York. It was like, you don't even mention there. Like, you don't even.
It was just so hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if did you used to go to Fat Farm back in the day?
Go to Fat Farm?
Yeah, he worked there. He was the security at the door in Soho.
I was one of them.
You only the front door.
Assistant manager.
But you worked the door too, though, didn't you?
No.
All right, whatever. My bad. I worked at Nana Shoes.
Eves was the security.
Eves. Rest in peace, Eves.
You want to know what's crazy about that statement? I literally brought that idea to Russell.
Wow, here we go.
This is crazy. I talk to him all the time, and I say, Russell, I said, you remember when you dropped me from Fat Farm? He said, I never dropped. I didn't even have you involved. I said, dog, you had Malik Sealy, God rest his soul, making the ties.
Right.
And I had this conversation with you and Diddy when we wanted to start Funky Flavor. And I said, Carl Kanai went to Canarsie with me. And I realized, we should sell our own clothes. Right? This is a huge conversation.
Wow.
Like, why are we wearing everybody else's? Every style we got, we should just make it our own. So on page 6, they talk about how Russell had me involved with Fat Farm, and then the next thing you know, I was out. I didn't say nothing. I was like, I was happy that he said I was in, and I thought I was in, but I had been on this fashion thing, I don't know. I had my own sneaker in 1990.
Wow.
Called Osaga. And this guy dating my daughter is a little older. He goes, I had your sneakers. They were heaviest sneaker ever in the world. I said, you building your leg muscles while you playing, knucklehead. Weighted sneakers.
How old is your daughter?
I'm not allowed to say. But,
okay.
But one was born in the 80s. One was born in the 90s. One was born in 2000s.
It's one of the 80s. That's the guys you dated. Definitely had your shoe.
Yeah. That doesn't make me feel any better, Toby, but appreciate it.
So you're gonna take it with, because I want to know some family, like what was going on when you were growing up, like brothers, sisters.
2 siblings.
2 siblings.
Yeah, I think so. Right? No.
No, I'm the youngest of 4 boys.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, and
Where were you in
I'm
the youngest. I'm the baby.
Right?
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. That means by the time my parents had me, they were 41 years old.
Right.
And any of us realize now, having a kid at 41, you're like, yo.
Had me at 41.
Yeah. They say white women can't do that.
After 40?
That's why they start rushing y'all. Come on, give me the ring. My mother's about to die. Give me the ring. She has to see me get married.
Yeah, my mom had me super young, man. Probably
Yeah.
17. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She had 3 boys. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the youngest. My brothers all play football. They're all shorter. I'm sure I had toxic waste. I'm sure I was on some landmine, made me grow this tall. Not even understanding it. Drinking the water in New York.
Oh yeah.
You know.
It's supposed to be the best water on the earth, though.
Yeah.
Still.
I believe it.
I don't.
Yeah. You
I don't believe it. No. I think the bagel, but
Best water in the world.
because there's a guy right here on La Brea and Melrose. He makes a pizza called Esco. ESCO. Cat from New York.
Mm.
And I thought it was the water in the crust. It's crust is New York. I'm telling you, to the point where when I left the concert last night, I only left early because I knew Esco's was closing.
Wow.
And I went, and my daughter was like, and he had vegan cheese.
Dang.
But I'm looking at his pizza. I go, dog, this looks like Ray's Pizza in New York. He goes, yeah. And I go, no disrespect. I said, but this really looks like New York pizza. Then I tasted the crust. I told my daughter, you can keep the cheese. Just give me the crust.
Wow.
Yeah, so got to check it. Yeah, Esco.
They were saying
no
that
joke.
Mulberry Street would like import the water from New York. I don't know if that's true.
No,
Mulberry Street
and
pizza.
he's a liar.
Like, how do you even do that, man?
That's crazy. I think
He probably spits in it.
flour, man. I mean, if you got
Yeah, because you can get flour from France, and that's different. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a different thing. But yeah, Mulberry makes a good pizza too. But this Kid Esco is a New York pizza. If you're in Los Angeles, I'm telling you, it's
That's
across
great
the
to know,
street.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just below Melrose on La Brea, across the street from Mr. Charlie's.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's hard to find good vegan pizza, man, with the good cheese too. Like, I'm super over the diet cheese. I know there's a bunch of different ones now, but like,
See, why are you mentioning brands, man?
he was saying before the pod, he doesn't only gets paid to mention brands. You're right.
yeah.
Well, I'm not saying anything good about it. I'm just saying like I know there's
You
better
didn't
ones
say
out
anything,
there.
right?
no sponsorship from them.
You know they changed their recipe though.
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
they
did.
changed their recipe. So I was involved with bringing VioLife into this country from Greece. I didn't get
Love
paid
that
for
brand.
it. Yeah, I didn't get paid right.
Well,
but,
you mentioned them though. Okay.
Yeah, but that's cool because I like them. And then the best cheese was called Dailies, but they started Dandy's Marshmallows.
Yeah, I
Those
love
guys
that.
out
Out
of
Chicago, right? Yes.
Yeah, they used to have a good cheese, but they saw it wasn't going to be the future, so they knew there was no competition in marshmallows. And I thought, wow, that's dope.
I love the marshmallows.
But then Follow Your Heart has a really good cheese.
OG
Out of
spot.
New York, there's a guy has called No Moo, and he
No
makes
Moo?
a mozzarella that's no joke. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was gonna open up a pizza parlor for about 30 years now.
You were.
I tell people if I had a joint that only had hamburgers, cheeseburgers, frankfurters, brats, and pizza, I would rule the vegan world. And they were like, well, there's nothing healthier. I said, no animal died.
Right.
I'm out of it that way.
Yeah.
I'm not, you know what? Everyone knows you're supposed to eat fruits and vegetables, drink water, seeds, nuts, and legumes. That'll keep you healthy,
Yes.
right? Not my place. We know that.
Yeah, we know that.
So I don't have to sit around and concentrate. But do you want some stuff that's not good for you, but also doesn't kill animals?
Yeah.
That's how you get it.
Do you go heavy on the fake stuff?
No, I was a shareholder of Beyond Meat since 2009, I think it was. Might even be 11. I'm gonna think 9. And then I was there when we rang the bell, the New York Stock Exchange when they went public.
Oh man.
Out of those, all the fake meats, that one is the better one. There's no soy.
I agree.
Is the gluten free.
Yep.
The rest of the stuff your body can recognize, but you should be flushing your body weekly, monthly anyway.
100%, man.
Yeah, you wash your car every week,
Yeah. It's a great great
inside
point.
and out. So
It's
yeah.
a great point. Ever since I stopped eating them, me personally, it's not for me. That makes me, but I can definitely do the Beyond, the gluten free, and the it's soy free.
Not an everyday thing.
No. It's a treat. It's a treat.
it is. Those
But-
are great glasses.
Thank you.
Whose are those?
This is Caddis, and I am paid to say their name.
Caddis.
Caddis Eyewear.
And actually, the pair that you gave me are incredible. It changed
Thank
my
you.
life.
I dropped my own glasses 2 weeks ago, camouflage ones. This brand, they're awesome.
Really?
Yeah.
What
Good
is?
brand.
How do you spell it?
Caddis, CADDIS.
.com?
Independent. Yeah, independent out here. Mm-hmm.
I just taught you how to do an integrated
Thank
commercial. Don't worry about
Do you wear glasses?
it. Do I wear glasses?
You're supposed to be wearing glasses?
No. I had.
Oh, you wear
I
glasses.
have Ryan Simkai eye shot, right? So I only need them for like reading.
Oh, those are sick.
Yeah,
Those are nice.
Yeah. I only do cool shit.
That makes sense.
Yeah, like if it ain't cool, I ain't doing it.
So for you growing up, were you was there a lot of meat in your diet growing up? And were you,
Yeah, my mother was a kosher caterer.
wow.
So in Brooklyn, so she worked at Grabstein's, and then we would go out and do Seder dinners on Friday nights in Long Island. And she also was a housekeeper, so some of the families she would work for throughout, and I would help her clean up. I tell people I learned a lot. I would being a black cat in America, growing up, born in the '60s, growing up in the '70s. That's the way I call it. I had a different twist. We cleaned the houses in Long Island. When I would finish, and my moms would say, all right, did you vacuum all the rooms and do all the stuff? Yeah. She goes, you can go swimming because they're not going to be back for about 4 hours.
Right.
And so I'd be skinny dipping in these pools out in Manhasset. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's just me out there floating on my back and going, this is going to be my life one day. I'm going to have a pool and a big house and somebody else cleaning it. And I literally manifested that.
Wow.
It was a trip. I used to tell my mom, I lived in Bayview houses, and I was on the roof, and she heard me, we on the 8th floor. And she came up, what are you doing? I said, oh, this is my penthouse. And she was like, this your penthouse? I go, yeah, over there is, but I'm on top of the building. So the whole roof is my penthouse.
Yeah.
So I'm telling her where my bedroom would be, where the kitchen would be. And she's like, all right, this kid is crazy. She goes, on a clear day, you can see Coney Island. And then I pointed to Manhattan. I said, on a clear day, you can see Beverly Hills. And she said, no, you mean Manhattan. I said, no, Ma, you got to look past Manhattan.
Wow, man.
So I get this house. I'm in Beverly Hills. It's 33-foot glass, this overlooking the valley. And she's standing there. And I go, it's a great view, huh? She goes, you made it. And I go, what? Like, I'm about to retire.
Mm-hmm.
I go, Ma, like, I got an MBA like 15 years ago. She goes, no, you talked about that basketball stuff, but you only talked about being in Beverly Hills, and this was going to be extensive, and you were going to. And I sat there and I was like, I don't remember that. She goes, yeah. Wow. She goes, I can tell you, we was on a roof, and I kept thinking, if this kid jumps off this roof, if this kid falls off this roof, I don't know what you're doing up here. I just hear you stepping. I'm like, oh, no, I'm not doing nothing crazy. I'm not getting even close to the edge. I don't even like heights. I'm just showing you how I can see it. So, yeah, I grew up. And then my brothers are like, one is 22 years older than me. One is 12 years older than me. One is 5 years older than me. So I kind of grew up only child.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Since 14, I had the room by myself. So that's the way we look at it.
And were you playing in school? Were you a good student?
Oh yeah. I was raised a Jehovah's Witness, so I had to read young and I had to be a stand-up citizen, even though my crew was thuggish. So in other words, when you got robbed, I counted the money because they knew I was honest. I was the one that took the chain into the pawn shop after we got snatched. Deal. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I love to read, and I'm thirsty for all kind of knowledge, and I love surprising people. Everybody else had a chip on their shoulder. We got to be 10 times better. I just wanted to be better than everybody. So, and that doesn't make any sense the way I am now, but it was this constant thing. It was almost like, did you see Finding Forrester?
Yeah, I know that name.
Yeah. With Sean Connery and the black kid when he was like this unbelievable, well-read writer.
I do remember this.
And they were right. That's exactly how I used to love my life. I used to want to be like, if you mentioned something, I could tell you where it was, who wrote it, Stop Biting, kind of like Good Will Hunting, the favorite movies. So I always look at my life like Slumdog Millionaire. The chances of me being in front of you was slim and none, and Slim left town. Like half my crew died before they were 25.
Wow. My
best friend got murdered when I was sophomore in college from people like the same senseless stuff that's going on now.
Yeah.
Like why, and I'm gonna say, we don't have any emotion to it, and because it's been happening forever. It's like for me the way it's always been. Mm-hmm. Like these rappers dying like this, I've never not seen it that way. Right. I've always known it to be exactly Big L, Scott LaRock, Freaky Ty. I can keep going down the line. I can keep going down the line on how it's like, it's the same thought process, same thing that was in a movie. Because I'm gonna hit you with this is how I even connected the movie Carmen with Dorothy Dandridge and Harry Belafonte.
Wow, it's an old one.
Right, so it's 1951. It's an all-black cast musical, and the situation was a female. Two guys got in an argument. One guy kills the other guy, and then he's on the run. So you perpetuated that from the beginning. So in the 50s, 55, I'm sorry, in the 50s, when they finally see us and we finally get this big thing, we're still doing negative things. Still not a positive thought process. So they start talking about the images now, and I bring up the images then. It was always that. It was always, even in the Mac and Superfly, when they supposed to be turning a good leaf. They had to do that out of the mix they was in. Another way of looking at it.
Yeah. But you seem like you were the bunch of kids who were wilding out. You kind of wilded out a little bit too, but you're also focused on reading and educating and just going further and had like a vision, at a young age.
Yeah, I told my mom it was her fault. I watched Animal Kingdom, Mutual of Omaha. It came on after Disney on Sundays, right?
I remember that too.
Yeah, you remember that? So, I didn't know where Omaha was. I didn't know what Mutual of Omaha was, but they sponsored the whole show. So shout out to Mutual of Omaha in case you're still sponsoring shows. I got the John Salley blockparty.com. Check it.
Was that like insurance?
Yeah. And I wanted to travel the world. And she was like, oh, my God, take those planes and go to all those places. Man, I try to go to as many places. I tell you, if I could shrink down to like 5'11", and then when there's trouble, go back up to 7 foot. You know what I'm saying? If I was able to stretch out and be like, back up. I would. It'd be. Because they can fit in a Porsche. I can't fit in a Porsche. Like I can buy 2 Porsches and use them as shoes. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can't fit into sports cars. That's my other dilemma.
What was your first sports car you bought? And how old were you?
First sports car. I'm gonna say. So I bought a Porsche that was a Tiptronic, and I had it reconfigured to look like a 959 by the worst people you can possibly ever get a car done by.
No shout out to them. Yeah.
Oh, it was horrible. But I was down in Miami, and it got robbed like twice, and the cop saved it both times.
Damn.
They would see it on a flatbed. The cop pull them over. Why do you got this car? Oh, it was parked illegally. They were like, "That's Sally's car." Like he literally got 2 dudes robbing my car with flatbeds.
Wow.
They robbed my Range Rover in Miami. They took the gate off the track, moved the gate, and slid the car out. What? And I called my man. I said, "Yo, man, somebody robbed my car. Where you at?" I'm in Coconut Grove. He said, "Where was the car?" I said, "In my driveway." He said, "Damn, Sal. All right, it's on the dock. They were about to take it and put it in a container."
Wow.
And he was like, as soon as he told me where they stole it from, he was like, "Yeah, it's on the dock." He said, "No broken glass, nothing." They were just going to redo the key, sell it in South America or wherever else they can get it.
Damn.
Yeah. How did we get all the way to that part? I don't know. Probably I was diverting a question.
Your first sports car. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, so I got that was terrible.
high school. Like,
Well, he's just saying, like, he was just focusing. His friends getting in trouble. He was staying out of
so
trouble.
you got out of high school. Were you? Did you have it in your mind, like, okay, I'm going to college? Like, what? I mean, you were playing.
It was Georgia Tech, right?
Yeah, I was a McDonald. I was not a McDonald All-American. They made huge mistakes that year, and I'm glad I didn't. I don't have to say a McDonald All-American. I'm so blessed that's not on my resume.
McDonald's trash.
But those were supposed to be the best players in the country, and I was in the best players in New York City, and I didn't make it. So I don't really care about them.
Who introduced basketball to you? Was it one person, or is it just?
Yeah, it was a guy I went to high school. I mean, elementary school. His name was Eric Jones, and he had a great afro, but it started in the middle of his head. It was great. It looked like he had a. I was like, now that I look back at dog, you got way more forehead than necessary for anyone.
Hope he's
Like
not
you got
listening.
more forehead than a ball-headed guy.
He's a big subscriber to the pod.
Yeah. But Eric Jones's dad had the greatest afro, and he had pork chop sideburns and a
Sick.
goatee. Oh, and he was like, man, basketball players, they got the best clothes, they got the money, the coolest cars, and all the women love, but they be inside wearing clothes. I remember like him talking to me and me turning back and said, and they get paid to do that? And he was like, they make the most money. I said, say less. Say less. And I was out there shooting, and then, in high school, I made 50 when I was 15. Going into my junior year, I didn't miss a day of playing basketball.
Wow.
My arches fell, so I was damn near crippled. My back was bad. I was growing fast. My mom was stuffing my feet in the bad shoes because she couldn't believe I was growing too fast. And then I just played every day. And it was this great guy saw me out there. His name is Bonnie Davis. He's still alive. He's going through some cancer treatments now. Bonnie Davis said, if you're going to be good, I got to teach you fundamentals. And he said, you're right-handed. So he started me on my left-hand layup because he said most right-hand guys don't use their left hand. So I learned to play left-handed, knowing how to play right-handed, knowing that right-handed players didn't guard left-handed players well. And there's a move you see now, like you see a guy go left and then lean back to the basket with his right hand. I would take off and dunk that way because I knew I can beat you going left, and I can jump before you can jump. And it's hard to jump when you're right-handed.
Okay.
With your right leg moving.
Got you. Okay.
I know it sounds crazy, but
Yeah.
if you ever see, I dunked on a lot of people because I knew they couldn't go left.
Okay.
So Bonnie Davis, and then my boy Ted Gustis, who just sent me today. We talk about breathing, one breath. Ditmas All-Stars. He wound up becoming vegan. He and the mayor of New York. The mayor of New York, he and I did a something in New York, in Brooklyn, and he was the Brooklyn Borough president. Then he became the mayor of New York. Still vegan.
That's awesome.
My man. And then my boy Arnie Hershkowitz. So me and my boy Sam, he taught us how to hustle too. So we were runners with him. He would take us to the racetrack, and we would run back placing people's bets, and they would tip us.
Okay.
And then we would go to the Knick game, and he would convince them to let me in. These two kids from the inner city, they're never going to see a Knick game. We'll stay up in the rafters to leave us alone. And by the time the game was in the fourth quarter, I'm sitting behind the Knick bench.
Wow.
And that was it. And I remember I told my brother, my brother was a senior in high school, and Albert King had come in. And this dude came in with a leisure suit. Remember leisure suits? Mm-hmm. Had a jean leisure suit on. And he had this huge box. This JVC box. And I'm thinking, oh, they going to rob this cat. He don't even look like he can fight. What is he about? Oh, I'm about to watch him get robbed. And these thugs walked in. I mean, at least, I'm going to say 9 to 12 deep. And they walked up to him. He handed them the box. And he grabbed his bag. He pounded them all. That was his crew from Coney Island.
Wow.
So everywhere he went to play, Albert King, who's Bernard King's brother, also played for the Nets. It was amazing. He dropped 50 on Canarsie. And I remember my brother our cheerleaders were cheering for him. When he came out, did rockabye and dunked it, and the refs did nothing. You weren't allowed to dunk on a layup line. He said not a word. And I watched him give my brother's squad 50. And I was like, I'm going to be a pro.
Wow.
I want to only do what he did. But, you guys are music guys, and I was huge into music. I couldn't play instrument, but I could tell you if you were in key, out of key. To this day, like, I got an artist now, Veda Velli. She's dope. And when she's doing the thing, she's out of key. She goes, no, I just want to give you the breakdown. I said, give me the breakdown in the right note, in the right key.
Yeah.
Right. Like, don't be lazy. Like, you can't be lazy. What if all of a sudden the music goes up?
Yeah.
What if your mic goes up? And we in a small place. You got to sing. You got to act like you're acting on Broadway.
100%.
We don't have time for you to go, my throat is hurt. I had a little cold this week.
So you never tried to play instruments and stuff like that? Or?
I did, man. I tried to learn languages, and that didn't work well. So I put my kids in school so they speak a couple languages. And then I tried to learn an instrument. It was a clarinet. It was a saxophone. Then I had a piano in my house my whole life, and we took lessons. And they loved my hands, and they were like, as big as your hands.
Dude.
Yeah, but you have to. I couldn't sit still to focus on 88 keys. And I loved going to piano lessons. I just could not. I probably still got a keyboard in my house. I bought a keyboard. I've been on YouTube. I've had girls sitting there trying to show me. It just doesn't sync. But I know music though.
Yeah. What about singing? No singing?
Yeah, I sang. I can sing. Everybody can sing if you know how to control your instrument.
Yeah.
So yeah. But I'm not a lead singer like you. But Toby. Toby didn't have to show
What about
off.
like rhyming and stuff like that? Nothing
Yeah,
like
I was an MC Johnny T in the mass production crew. That was another thing.
What?
Yeah, that was.
What year?
I literally 1980 to 1982. So my DJ was DJ Tommy Allen, who passed 2 years ago. He 2 or 3 years ago. He was a DJ on WBLS in New York, right?
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
Still making tapes. He said something that made me not talk to him anymore. He said, "Man, I had last tape of you rhyming, but I had to tape something for work, so I had to tape over it." And he just looked at me. One, he knew that was some dumb thing to say to
Yeah.
me. Two, he said it because he probably was pissed at something. But
So there's no recordings out there of you?
no, but like literally, I had all my comic books. This is a trip. I had these comic books that I knew that I've been collecting since I was in second grade. And on top of that was my rhyme book. And every house I moved to, the first thing I would grab was that. So when I'd come down and they had robbed my Range Rover and I was leaving that place, I couldn't find my comic books. And I still to this day can't find which was my rhyme book was inside of it. Damn. And I have, sounds like I'm bragging. I have a photographic memory. So if you say something, if I watch you say it, I'll remember everything you said. So when I hear lyrics, I know every lyric.
Wow,
It's
man.
crazy, right? So
That's crazy.
I watch this guy who hits me on. His name is Dr. Timmy Hall now, but Timmy Hall was a rhymer, was an MC in the Bronx, and my brother had taken me to see him, and it was Timmy Hall and Johnny G, and I DJ Johnny G, and I watched Timmy, and I listened to every lyric, and when I got in the car, asked my brother, I wrote down every rhyme.
Wow.
He was like, "What are you doing?" I said, "Shit, I'm using this shit at home. Like they ain't never heard no shit like this in our project." And I'm like, and he was like, "You can't do that. That's his." I said, "I can use words."
Yeah.
I said, "I can So I learned with his cadence. I learned how to rhyme.
Wow.
And that was it. And I had a record label in Detroit, Bam, By All Means Music. My first sign was Jay Dilla.
No way.
Yeah,
Wow.
Slum Village was my first sign. Then Tony Rich, which got the Oscar for Best New Artist. Grammy Best New Artist 1996. Tony Rich project.
Mm-hmm.
And then I signed Paul Rosenberg, who was Eminem's
His manager.
Manager and lawyer, and he was Paul Bunyan. I had like
Wow.
7 groups out of Detroit, and I said, "This is what I know. People don't know music. We in Detroit, and no one's gonna start a record label in Detroit. Like the reason y'all are even listening to music is because it came from Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can talk about anything before that. Motown set the tone for us. So I remember I went to this party one time. John Salley from the Pistons in here, and this guy was sitting there and he was singing, and he was going around handing people the mic, and people were killing it. And I said, "Is that his crew or something?" He goes, "No, like people just could sing." I was like, so like that's why Motown was Motown. You can go there and there's going to be a line of 10 people outside. Hey, let me show you I can do this. And so I knew that the city still had the residue of talent, man. And I don't know why people didn't just like pick up on it. Like I saw Big Sean the other day. Big Sean is a product of that Motownness.
Mm-hmm.
Lupe Fiasco lives in Detroit.
Right.
Like I'm telling you, man, Eminem, just that whole crew, Marv One. I love battle rap, and my first battle rap I saw was in Detroit.
St. Andrews, the same kind of place.
Yeah, but it was
played there many times. You did too,
yeah.
probably. Yeah, St. Andrews Hall. It's classic.
Yeah.
Wow. Even Kid Rock's from there.
Yeah. And Kid Rap was a rapper.
I know, man. Rhyme Syndicate, right?
Yeah. And then it was like, this ain't gonna make it. He Post Malone just realized the same thing.
MGK,
So did Bad Bunny.
MGK too.
Yep.
Dude, Bad Bunny had like one of the biggest concerts the other day. I heard Bad Bunny's. Who did? Went to your high school? Oh, he did?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. He flipped everything straight to like pop punk.
Yeah. Yeah. You,
That was interesting
You listen
to
to
watch.
Bad Bunny drinking white wine right now. Like it ain't that old. Da 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 da. He was like that. I'm gonna kill my career killing people. Let me think about it. Let me change up on this situation. I'm a hybrid. I'm a Drake the shit out of my life. Drake is a hybrid, man. He's a hip hop and R&B singer.
He's incredible. I mean, I like the last record. I like the dance record. I liked it was in a dance genre, not hip hop genre. I liked that he did that, and he can do that. He doesn't give a shit.
Nope.
You know what I mean?
Beyonce did it, and they were like, "Oh, this is the greatest."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you keep up on new hip hop and stuff too?
Yeah, man. I went down and met NLE Chopper,
I saw him next time. Yeah.
and the reason I met him because he went vegan,
I heard about that.
right? And when he got off, imagine a rapper saying, "Yo, I had to wean myself off of lean, and I cleaned myself by eating this diet. Hey, I had to break up with this girl because I didn't have good intent." Like this dude,
Wow.
no matter what he's rapping about, he knows if he don't rap about that stuff, he's not gonna make a living. But he'll change soon. With those body changes, you can't continue to do, godless music.
Yeah, that's incredible. Yeah, I saw Kevin Hart open up a new spot out here.
Yeah, Hard House. I haven't been to it yet.
Yeah, me either. I just love seeing that, and also with our friend Badass Vegan too, with the Trying to Kill Us, that documentary too is beautiful.
Yeah, I'm in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Also, Dupree's been vegan for a minute.
I was in Game Changers too. He kicked me out though because he
You
asked
in
me to
there?
borrow some dough. I was like, "Dog, I'm barely paying for these private schools. You want me to pay for a documentary?" So.
And what was it that made you go vegan? When was that going vegan for you?
1991.
Wow.
I had
Wow.
Yeah.
Like close to us, man.
Yeah, when it was styrofoam and barbecue sauce.
Brutal.
It was
Brutal back then.
It was microbiotic was the only way to eat, and you had to smell like you don't use deodorant to eat the food.
The Dr. Bronner's soap.
It's like a flashback of my uncle because he was the first vegan
Yeah.
I ever met. And it was this microbiotic like food he would bring over to the house.
That's what they'll call it back then, right? I guess.
What's that?
Like the healthiest way to eat vegan back then, right? Yeah.
I mean, he would come over and I'd be like, "You're not gonna have any of this food that we just made." He's like, "I'm good. I got my own."
Yeah, the thing.
Waffles.
Yeah, I like girls who, like oxtail and mangoes because they're really good at sucking the juice out of the bone, and it's good practice. So So in Jamaica, no I'm joking. I see a girl with oxtail, or the oxtail, I just watch, and I go, oh, poor ox. But man, lady. If you,
But what was it that made you want to go vegan? Was it for the animals or was it for health?
I had high cholesterol, and they told me that they were going to have to put me on a pill that side effects was impotence.
Dang.
Yeah. So when people have high cholesterol, they put them on. I'm not going to say the name of the company because they're not paying me.
Exactly.
And they wouldn't want me to mention them. But just understand, if you have to take a pharmaceutical for a so-called dis-ease in your body, you're aiding and abetting that dis-ease. And it's going to add dis-ease other places. So when the system is blocked, the system is blocked. And the lady told me, the first thing is you're full of sugar honey iced tea. And I got a colonic from like a 72-year-old woman that looked 40.
Wow.
And I couldn't believe I was releasing so much. And I used to have, lower back pain. I found out that that's all that is you're full of sugar honey iced tea.
Wow.
And so when I found out how my body worked, I used to think I wanted to be a doctor. And then when I finally found out how my body was working, and the only way to heal your body is you the only person that can heal your body. And so when you aid and abet murder, then you're a part of the murder. So I stopped eating anything that was murdered.
Amazing, man.
And then I was a lion vegetarian, though. So the ones that eat fish and shrimp and turkey, I was one of those.
Okay.
Because I still wanted to fish. So I had to give myself a reason to still murder fish. I mean, go fishing.
Need those bragaminos. What are they saying? You have to have fish because it has this one thing in it. That was the main thing.
Yeah, life. Yeah. We got to take the life out of it.
Only getting fish was amino. I forgot what it was, but whatever. I remember hearing
it
that.
Was fish oils. It obviously is only for the fish. Fish are 100% parasitic too. Like the whole fish is a parasite.
Damn.
Yeah, so
I don't know that.
Yeah, that's why you can smell it on people because it's a parasite, breeding. So I know it's nasty. So then I was a lion vegetarian, and then I got on the radio, and these Israelites came up to me and they said, "We're gonna bring you some food. Check out our food." And they brought up this beautiful vegan food. And they were like, you can't be having grits and eggs and talking about you're a vegetarian, eggs are the menstrual cycle of a chicken. What? He goes, if it ain't a chick, then it's period blood. Ended it right there. And I knew I shouldn't have eggs because of the cholesterol situation. So then in 2006, I did a PSA with PETA.
Yep.
I was as vegetarian. And then I tasted this food that they had waiting on me when we finished the PSA and introduced me to Dave Anderson, who used to own Madeline's Bistro.
I remember that spot, yeah.
Yeah, so he was also an integral part in Beyond Meat.
Gotcha.
And then he and Tao who owns Crossroads.
Shout out to Tao.
He used to work there. And Dave is the most unbelievable food scientist, chef I've ever been around. So I was like, why would I? If I at 40, I decided never to lie again. So at 50, when I stopped lying,
this guy's a comedian too, man.
Yeah, I had a conversation with my wife, and she didn't talk to me. I talked for like 3 hours. She didn't talk to me for like 3 days.
Really?
Yeah. So what would you do? I said I would leave me. And she was like, now that you're lying, you're still putting it down, still making money. You think I'm going to leave you for some other broad to get this perfectness? So, yeah, it's been a journey. But
yeah, is your wife vegan too?
Yeah, everybody in the house eats a
Awesome,
vegan
man.
diet, even my dog. So I have an Akita, and his name is, you can check him on Instagram, Neo, the vegan dog. And I feed him V-Dog and a couple of other plant-based. And this trip, my last one, I did that too, and everyone thought I was being cruel. A dog that usually only lives 11 years stayed alive 17.
Wow.
Big dog too.
Wow.
Until it got hip problems. But like I'm looking, like you see your dog over here, because she loves me more than she loves you.
Are your kids vegan too now?
Yeah, two
Wow,
of them.
It's awesome.
Two of them are. I have 4 of them, but 2 of them are. The other 2 will figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy how the world's changing now with people being more aware of the connection to the environment and what they eat, you know?
And they're going broke.
Mm.
I don't understand why vegan food, that's the thing I don't like, why vegan food is more expensive. I just think it's a sham. Yeah. And I thought that, and then I talked to, I was blessed enough to know Howard Schultz from birth, who owned Starbucks, and then I did a gig with him last November. And I said, why do you charge more for oat milk and almond? And he said, the suppliers charge me more to have it.
Gotcha. The
Because
suppliers do
they
it.
can charge him more because they know people are going to ask for it and he has to have it. So he doesn't have to charge them milk prices.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so it's a problem. I was going to get in the game, but then I thought, why should I have a headache?
Yeah.
I make my own milk anyway.
And why? And is Cafe Organics, is that in San Bernardino area?
San Bernardino, yeah. I no
Why,
longer.
why that area? Yeah, I was curious.
Well, these my 2 partners, they had a CBD store and a juice store there, and then they wanted to open this cafe, and then they said, just come check it out. And the address was 420 East Hospitality Lane.
That's perfect.
So it's San Bernardino. This is the most gangster county we got. So pretty soon, when they have cannabis cafes, I thought I'd be ahead of the game. But I'm no longer associated. Our views,
Oh, that spot?
Yeah, our views are gone. And then I was working with the guy at Planet Health Compton.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that.
But I'm no longer involved in that either. This is what I want. I want a burger. I want cheeseburger, chip. That's what I want, damn it. I want it to be like Saturday Night Live. And that's it. And then Mr. Charlie's open.
I was going to ask you, but that was a pop-up that went viral like on TikTok, and now
Yeah.
it's still there.
Yeah.
Still there,
Yeah, my wife loves
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's incredible.
Yeah. Only problem, they serve Impossible Burgers, and I don't like that. Hey, you got a burglar coming in.
Who is it?
Oh my God.
It's Chappelle Lacey. Is that Chappelle? Ill up-and-coming comedian, man. Crushing
it's
it, dude.
criminal.
99.9% vegan, too, thanks to us. And his pops is vegan, too.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is something.
So you wanted to be an actor originally, right? Kind of?
Yeah. I always wanted to act. I did stand up for a while because I love Richard Pryor and I worked on
Yeah.
the timing. But then I just wanted to act. And I knew, too. My mom used to always laugh. I said, yeah, I'm going to be on the stage.
Was this in high school? Or
Yeah. I did plays in junior high school and that kind of stuff. But I wanted to be an actor, but, you know, the shot didn't happen until it happened.
Did you? Go ahead.
no, go
I would say, did you really get paid $700 to be in Bad Boys?
$470.
And you had to pay it pretty much to your SAG wages. You owed money.
Yeah, I didn't even know. I still owed money. What's up, man? I thought there was a
Chappelle.
criminal. So I said, bruh. I said, man, there's a real live bruh man right there.
And that was Michael Bay's first movie, and he had already shot you in a Nike commercial, right, or
Yeah,
something?
he hosted
Cool.
my Nike commercial. It was dope. And it was funny when he was doing the commercial. He was crazy.
Yeah.
We were riding. It was a cross-training commercial. And he literally had me in his cross-training outfit and had me riding a bike. And he goes, and they were going to switch me. He goes, no, I want the real sweat.
Right.
What? I just got my hair cut. Oh my God. So he literally had me riding up and down the LA River and following me with the and the reaction in the commercial is it gets to a point, my man, and I say something and I throw the bike down and I walk off set, and that was the shot.
Nice.
Wow.
That's how he is. He was like,
Right.
I'm gonna get what I want. I'm gonna get some real sweat, real anger. So
I didn't realize Bad Boys was his first movie. That's crazy.
yeah, and he was yelling then too, and I got on set. He made all of that stuff up as we were
Yeah, your
walking to
character,
set.
right, yeah.
The look of it,
Computer nerd, yeah.
what I was going to do, and he said, I know how I'm going to shoot this. I'm going to start here, and then I'm going to get to the point where I'm shooting down at Martin. He said, so I want a slow reveal of you standing up. Then he had to catch Martin's head going up like that, and we all had to fit in the frame. So Will is hella close to me on the back, like people trying to calm him down. It was an unbelievable learning experience.
Yeah, is it true when they asked you to do Bad Boys 2, they asked you how much you got paid originally? You said 20 grand or something?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
How much did we pay you the first time? I said, I think you paid me $20,000. He said, well, we're gonna give you $20,000 again. Right. How about that? Like, Negro, we know how much we paid you. We barely paid you.
Bad Boys was huge too, right? The first,
yeah.
Even the Bad Boys 2 was pretty huge, right?
Yeah. Bad Boys 3, I wasn't in it. Too bad for them.
Do you still keep in touch with Martin Lawrence?
Yeah, I text Martin often.
Incredible, he's incredible, man.
Yeah, and then I text Will all the time.
Yeah, man, Martin Lawrence. What were you gonna say?
No, I wanted to go back.
Go ahead.
Like after high school and going to university. So what university?
Oh, I graduated from Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech, son.
No, I'm just asking for.
Yeah, I just always have to let everybody know, you know.
Right.
1986
draft pick. 1986 draft pick there.
Yeah, 1986 number. I went to school year round. So yeah, the Georgia Tech is on a quarter system, and then people were going home for the summer. Now, I go to New York for the summer. You know, I might not come back. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
We're falling. We're dying like flies. So, and Atlanta was. I had nobody tell me what to do. So I went to school, and I thought it was, you know, what am I going to do home in the summer, right? I might as well go to class. I'm going to go to the gym. There's not a lot of people on campus.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I had to fend for myself. So the what do you call that? Cafeteria for athletes is closed when there's no football. Only opens when there's football. So all the rest of you athletes eat cake. So, so yeah, So I went to Georgia Tech, and I could have graduated that summer when I got drafted, but you know, NBA felt they didn't pay me to go to school. Right. So I didn't like that attitude. So the next year, I stayed and didn't. Like, they were like, man, I'm not paying you to go to school. And I couldn't believe that. And so in 1988, after we went all the way to the finals, I had one class. And he wanted me to come to summer league. And I said, I don't work for you in the summer.
Wow.
Hung up on me. And I graduated 1988.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah. My mom, I gave my degree to my mother. Because it was for her anyway.
That's awesome.
I would have gone, man, if I could have gone pro, right, you know. I understand college. I understand what it does. It just doesn't do it anymore. It's not our future anymore. Yeah. I tell you this, and I hate to be a Debbie Downer. In 2002, I'm in Portofino, Italy. I drove from Monte Carlo with my wife. I was like, it's May. It's my birthday. I'm going to Italy. I'm going to Italy. So we go to Portofino. We're walking around. All right, that's cool. And then I go get the rent-a-car and try to get out. When I go to the, you know, in America, you hand the money to somebody, they give you back your ticket, you keep it moving. I get to the gate, and people are blowing their horn because you're supposed to go back there, pay with the machine, and put your credit card in. Now that I say that, everyone goes, yeah, of course you know that. Not 2002.
Yeah.
We didn't get that. At my bank now, this last 2 months, they just got rid of the booth and put the machine. And it's 2022. So that's that crazy. Lady that I saw for the past 14 years has no job. Right?
Yeah.
Right now, I got this app that I was getting involved with called Chef, SHEF, for homemade meals. So you can now put and program them to deliver you homemade meals from some lady's kitchen. They are now putting Uber on Uber against restaurants.
Gotcha.
So
yeah.
Ghost kitchens are not going to win anymore, right? If I can get a homemade meal from a lady that supposedly, like I got a lady in Detroit that makes this falafel. Okay. She's from Lebanon. I go to her house to pick it up on the way to the airport when I'm leaving Detroit.
Wow.
And I had like falafel. I don't know what she does. I don't know if she's spitting in it. I don't know if she mixes it with her feet. I don't know what it is. It's a different taste than falafel.
Yeah.
And so just imagine that the world is moving to the way where, one, we were at the concert last night we'll get to.
Dude.
My daughter got in the car and couldn't wait to wipe her hands because she has been indoctrinated for the past 2.5 years that environment is unhealthy.
Great point.
So metaverse is about to be huge, right? Where I can get you to come in, your whole crew, do the concert, cut, edit it, put it together. Now you get paid for being at a concert. You're not even performing it.
Yeah.
So the world is changing. So I think school is no longer teach you how to be in line.
I mean, that's a great point, especially with the Zoom and the online stuff that happened the past 2 years. You know, my son graduated on the computer, all that, not really have to go anywhere anymore and do that. You're right.
Yeah, you never did.
Yeah.
It was a part of a system. Like my show that you're going to be on is all Zoom. And the television is a long, skinny television in the chair that moves when I want it to move, and it looks like you're there. And I was like, they was like, oh, that's dope. Yeah, I don't want to. How long we been supposed to do this podcast?
A long time.
Right?
We're busy, though, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But people aren't too busy for Zoom, which trips me out. They be, oh, man, what it is, they don't want to put on clothes. Really, they don't want to wash their ass and brush their teeth. They cry about gas. You know, it's.
I know.
They made us shut it down, and the crazy thing about that pandemic, I used to live in Encino, and we were up at 3:00 in the morning. Remember, everybody's sleep was off, and I tell my daughter to come out back, and she goes, "What?" And I go, "Listen, it was not a sound."
That was the beautiful part. Driving through LA, nobody in the streets, dude.
Wow. Yeah.
It was pretty surreal, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, coming out of that, I understand. Like, so now she's like programmed to like, I have to wash my hands. Meanwhile, we all should wash our hands.
Right.
But then at the same time, there's something about our kids going outside playing, getting germs, building a strong immune system as well.
Used to be, but now everything outside is pesticide, right? The grass is not real. The all of that. So you're really destroying. I used to say, like, I'm into grounding, right? I do yoga. But then I remember one time I was watching TV and like I was learning how to stand up paddleboard. And then it said, oh, this morning, no one should go in the water in Malibu, because you might get a staph infection. What?
That's crazy. Yeah.
I said, well, why not? He said, well, it's raining. I go, what's that have to do with it?
Right.
And they were like, well, different settlements in the water. And I was like, Malibu, I can't get in the water. Yeah. Say less. So the only place I get in the water is in the Caribbean.
Wow.
Yeah, I won't.
I mean, we see alerts because my son surfs. We see those charts every week. What's the highest, toxins?
They're telling you that we're in a toxic water thing. I mean, I got in Hawaii. That water was amazing.
Oh, yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, that was amazing.
So now we can't go outside. Now we can't. We're living like in Pleasantville.
But you were talking about the show and how you felt after being there and that surrounding.
Well, for me, I don't smoke weed.
Right.
And so I had too much caffeine before I went. I had yerba mate, 2 of them, which 160 grams of caffeine. And then all
Do
the
they
weed,
sponsor you?
They sponsor him, yeah.
Oh, which one?
It's amazing. Amaz. It's
Can I have
banging,
one of
bro.
those?
Oh,
Yeah, I'll get you one.
Absolutely.
Want me to get one?
I'll get one.
Yo, but the weed, I never tried weed. I never smoked anything my whole life. I've been straight my whole life. And there was all the weed around me. I was breathing it in. I was feeling
And
like,
you felt great.
well, I might have a contact. I might have a contact buzz, maybe.
You are a punk rock lead singer.
I never
And
tried
you've
anything.
never,
No.
I didn't try weed till I was 32.
Okay. I'm 52. I never tried weed, cigarettes, drinking, nothing my whole life.
No? But then, thank you.
But I've vegan since 1988. Been healthy my whole life. But I probably get a contact buzz because I saw Up in Smoke back in the day, Eminem, Snoop. The whole arena was weed. I felt so fucking weird when I left that place, man.
At Kendrick.
Yeah, no, that's legit.
sugar.
No sugar.
Yeah, I love yerba mate.
How is it, Mr. Salley?
This is good. I'm glad I can say that.
Yeah, that was a really great breakdown.
I stopped lying at 40.
Right, now you said this.
Until you
It
got
did-
caught at 50, you said.
Yeah, it took me until I was 50. So now, if I tell people, they say, so you only tell the truth? I say, yes. In other words, and they go, well, how do you do that? I go, I don't tell everybody my opinion.
Right.
So my opinion is my opinion.
It's tricky to have
May
an
not be
opinion
the
these
truth.
days too.
Huh?
It's tricky to have an opinion these days too.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
It can't. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, you can't be a thinker.
you can't. It's true though.
Chronic thinking is not part of the business.
Let's talk about Sneakerella because I'm a big sneakerhead person. I'm sure you are too.
Oh, Sneakerella, which is on Disney Plus, a movie which I did 2 years ago. Really good movie, and it's a trip because it's on Disney Plus. Disney Plus is changing, right? So everyone thought it was a kid movie, and then they got to see the movie, and it's about second chances. So as opposed to the old Cinderella mentality,
Yeah.
It's a redeeming situation that this is why I did this. This is why I thought this. Yes, they're wrong. They'll be handled, but I need a second chance. And, it works out in the end. But I get to rhyme in the movie. So
Awesome.
I get to do a whole battle. And I hadn't rhymed on camera ever. I've been on stage a lot. But I got to live out my hip hop battle dream.
Awesome, man.
Real.
Are you a big sneakerhead person too? Like,
Yeah, listen, this is so crazy.
what size sneakers you wear, by the way?
15.
Wow.
I used to wear 16, and then I got my feet operated on when I retired because I had bunions and hammer toes. And if I can buy new boobs for broads, I should be able to get straight toes. Like, that's not asking so much. My feet do more than those boobs. Anyway, maybe not. Maybe not.
Oh my God.
Maybe
dude.
not. But when MJ first started, right? So that's my man, 50 grand. So he goes pro, and when they come into play, he get in Atlanta. I go check him out because no one's going to hang out with MJ.
Yeah.
They're not understanding.
For listeners, you're talking about Michael Jordan. ladies and
Yeah,
gentlemen.
if MJ, pick one.
Jay-Z line going on here.
Yeah.
Right.
So I see him, and I don't even think he's understanding that. Yo, you about to change the whole sneaker. We wearing Converse at Georgia Tech.
Crazy, man.
I got Dr. J to sign a pair, gave me a pair. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's wearing Converse. Kareem is wearing Adidas. Period. Right? And then growing up in hip hop, we wearing Bally's, Pro Keds, Pro Cons, what is it called? British Knights or British Knights.
BKs.
BK is the illest. So I tell him I'm Pumas, so I go to Georgia Tech with Lee jeans and 4-color Pumas.
Wow.
And that's how I put it together. So I to this day still have some Pumas. I got a pair of Kobe's when he was number 8.
Wow.
I can get him to sign them. I just took him. I go, what's that? He goes, I'm not wearing that style anymore. I'll sign him later. That was a huge mistake. But I remember when Michael I was playing for Chicago. He took his shoe off. I grabbed him, and the ball boy looked at me like I was crazy. He said, Sal, I give him away to the ball boys every game. I said, not this game.
You have those still?
Yeah. I said,
Wow.
I said, matter of fact, I take the kid's pen. Thanks, kid. Sign these for me. He thinking I'm just joking, and I'm going to give them to hell no. No.
Wow,
Sign them.
dude.
I got them. So I said to this guy, he said, oh, these are real. Like, dude. I said, yeah. And they stayed in this bag that I had, and this bull bag. And he goes, these are worth like $50,000, Sal. I said, for what?
Right.
He wore them already. That's all I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Like, craziness. So,
Probably now even more. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, yeah. And I got my boy, what's his name? Jacob. He is a clothes designer, and he came over to a shoe designer. I met him right there on Fairfax.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to do a show just about sneakers. So yeah, my daughter's calling me. I'm on a podcast, but
You have a big collection of sneakers too, huh?
yeah, man, a huge collection. I have.
So you saw the Jordan ones when they first came out, and that was your friend. They're like, these are going to be huge. They changed the world. They changed
Yeah, they
everything.
did.
Everything.
Hip hop, skaters, everything.
But what's crazy is even at that time, though,
Yeah.
Yeah.
late 80s,
I'll call you back.
The best underdog story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Remember he got in trouble for him because there was a great scene on David Letterman. And he goes, these shoes, you got fined for wearing these shoes. He goes, what's wrong with them? I don't see anything wrong with them. He said, they're ugly. He said, no. He said, what's wrong? He said, it doesn't have any white in it. He said, neither does the NBA. That's not a big problem.
Oh, my
Dave,
God.
I'm telling you, Dave was unbelievable. But literally, his first sneakers were red and black.
Yeah, the band. They call them the band, whatever the band, yeah.
Just that
band
red
ones.
and black. Yeah.
Such a sick colorway, man. Just a sick. There's nothing better than the Jordan 1, man.
It ain't good to play in, though.
Yeah.
He said that, too. He was like, yo, my feet would bleed and tried to come back.
And you probably know this, but by default, the Jordan 1s that are canvas, they're vegan. The leather's fake.
Right.
So all of us dudes in New York who into punk rock and hardcore and skateboarding, we started rocking the Jordans when we were vegans in the 80s because those are like our winter boots. Because you couldn't wear Converse in Manhattan through snowstorms. So we got the Jordan 1s canvas, and that was like our boot.
Really?
They're vegan. Yeah, it's like synthetic. To this day, those are the OG vegan Jordans. They're so sick. Yeah, the blue and black.
Yeah, I was just about to, right before the movie came out, before Sneakerella came out. This is why I thought it was a crazy life. Is 2019, I was like, all right, I'm going to come out in 2019 with not only my daughter's brand and a television show, I'm going to come out with a sneaker. And so I go to these 3 different designers. Whack. It is a great brand out of Portugal. Now, the reason it's out of Lisbon because they make the most vegan shoes. Even the glue is vegan.
I know that.
Yeah.
Lisbon's beautiful too, by the way. I love Portugal.
Yeah, man. Somebody offered me hash on the street. I was like, they still do hash? Yeah.
Yeah, they
Man,
do.
I don't want any hash. Meet me over there. You can't walk up to
So
me.
you tried to meet with some American brands at first, and you just...
Well, I went to Nike, but Nike doesn't want to talk to me anymore. I did a lot with Nike. I did what do you call it? Battleground when they were trying to develop new sneakers. I remember some wonderful lady from Nike said, I'm going to ask you something. And this is not racist, but I'm going to ask you something about your culture. And I want you to answer me and understand I'm asking because I don't know. She said, yeah. She said, why do you guys love Air Force Ones? And I did not have an answer.
Uptowns for the East Coasters, though.
Right.
Uptowns. Why don't what Uptowns?
But see, mine are the ones, I have to tell you now, these are Air Force One Nikes, not from Nike, from the factory. So that's why you don't know which Nikes are, you have to know if they're from Nike or this is still made in China. So these are made in China, same factory, did not change anything. Nike makes theirs in Singapore now. So that's why it's such a thing, is Nike took all of their product out of the stores.
Did not know that.
Yeah, you can go to Foot Locker and get a Nike now.
Wow, even like $80 Air Force Ones at Foot Locker, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think of the Air Force One as a New York staple, the Uptown.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
that's all it is.
It's so popular now, and my son and all the kids in his generation, they wear them till they're falling off their feet, and they're black and they're dirty and they're creased. Like in New York, that shit is like kept them super nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's crazy how the kids wear them now.
I just saw a guy. We're going to the concert last night in L.A. and I said I'm going to beat traffic and I'm going to get off at Cahuenga. I don't know why. Anyway, and then by the time I'm driving down Franklin, and for those who don't know, in Hollywood, it's like the middle of Hollywood, and this guy is walking, and my daughter says, "What's up with him?" And I look and I see something in his right hand. And, I don't have a pistol with me. I don't have a knife. I'm like, man, I'm slacking, right? And he's walking, and I go, and he don't have no shoes on. Now, I used to see that in New York all the time, meaning he got robbed, right?
Yeah.
He got robbed. Yeah. They got him for his sneakers. I said, yo, see what happened when you don't know how to fight, Tyler? She was like, what are you talking about? Maybe he's homeless. I said, homeless guys got shoes, even if they size that fit them. I said, he got robbed. That guy just got robbed. I'm telling you. That's all I thought the whole time. But yeah, I'm a love sneakers, and I'm really particular too. So
yeah,
I don't want to have any whack shoes on.
Yeah.
I don't promote any whackness.
Yeah. Who do you think was the first people to rock the Air Force Ones? Was it Arabian Rock Camp, the rock white on white uptowns? I don't know who it was back in New York who started rocking those first.
Yeah, because we didn't want to wear Adidas.
Mm.
After he did my Adidas, when we got to that point, okay, we're gonna do it. Shell toes are dope, but really we like Stan Smiths, right? So we like Stan Smiths, who looks like the Bally's.
That's what the Beasties rocked.
Yeah, and then Moses Malone, and then we're wearing Air Force Ones. And then when we saw Ice with them on, that to me, I was like, let me try it. But like, I think they're so heavy to play basketball in.
I know they're basketball shoes, right?
Yeah, but they're not.
They're so bulky, man. They're so heavy.
They're not, and it was like wearing a high heel shoe, right? If you step on the side, you're gonna twist your ankle. They're guaranteed. Yeah, it didn't make much sense to me.
It's crazy that was such a And then and if you were black on black ones, that was like a New York thing too.
Yeah.
But black on black ones out here, my son says you can't rock at his school because there's a different thing who rock black on black. It's a different thing in L.A. for the black on black.
Yeah, like I saw Nas come out in a red warm up suit last night, red and white. I was thinking he know better than that.
Yeah.
Like that's what was saying in my mind living out here.
Well, so that rocking the fur coat, rocking. Last night was just epic being 52, being our age, growing up, living in New York at that time, seeing all that, being in the 90s in New York. It was just beautiful last night to see the crowd, that diversity, the different age groups.
And when did you get most of your tats? How old were you?
Started like 18 in New York.
So no black guys ever said anything to you when they saw your tattoos?
Back in the day?
Because you're colored.
Yeah. I mean, I have a great story I told before. I'll tell you, appreciate it. I met Tupac once backstage. I was with House of Pain. He had no tattoos. He shook my hand. He's like, damn. He looked at me in House of Pain. We all had shirts up. I had the most tats. It's in actually a book called Who Shot You? And Tupac's like, yo, you white boys are crazy with them tattoos. And he had the hair, like he was just filming Juice.
Yeah.
No tattoos.
Yeah.
It was a cool moment meeting him. I know camera, nothing. It was a beautiful moment. I never seen him again after that. But yeah, I mean, nobody ever said anything about me having tattoos in New York like that. I mean, now it's so everybody has tattoos, dude.
I know, but like it was a trip. I tell everybody the first guy was Kenyon Martin. I just saw him the other night. He used to play for the Nets. It was the first person I saw, black guy I saw with a neck tattoo.
Really?
Okay.
And
it wasn't what's his face from the Knicks. I'm gonna fuck the name up. He had braids. He was so hard.
He choked his coach.
I thought he was the first guy tatted up in basketball. Rap loves him. I'm such a moron.
Birdman, the white guy or the black guy?
No, black guy. Was he Philly or was he Knicks?
Allen Iverson.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, Philadelphia.
He's hard as fuck though. I thought he was the first like tatted up guy.
Yeah, Dennis was the first.
Rodman too.
So, fun fact.
Okay.
Let's get it.
I'm the first guy with a tattoo outside of his uniform, and I got this dragon.
Oh shit!
And they find me every game because it's not part of my uniform.
No way.
Yeah,
that's original.
And I remember it. They were like, "Well, we're gonna find you $1,000 a game," which is $82,000. And I was like, "You can't." And he goes, "They're gonna find you because you put a tattoo outside your body that's outside of your uniform." And I go,
"What?
What if I had a skin rash?"
Right.
There. He goes, "It's not. It's a tattoo." I said, "How are you to say it's a tattoo? It's in my skin. How are you going to test that?"
It's a skin rash shaped like this.
Yeah. So
when did it become okay to have fully tattooed?
it didn't. And Dennis went and got it because Dennis like, that's crazy.
Right.
And then they couldn't find Dennis. Well, they can find Dennis, which they probably did, but he was making a move and he was the defensive player.
Yeah.
And then I remember when Allen Iverson came in, remember he didn't have any tattoos.
Right. Yeah.
And then when he started getting tats on his arm, which we had never seen. I'd never seen a tattoo go anywhere lower than your bicep.
Yeah.
And he had they did a commercial where they ad where they colored his tattoos out.
Okay.
They took them out. And everyone thought that was wrong, and David Stern apologized. Then they did another tattoo where this old lady had cornrows and a whole bunch of tattoos on. They made fun of it. But I remember when Stephen A. Smith talked so bad about Kaepernick being on San Francisco. Hey, you can't come with all them tattoos on and doing that. I was like, what? What are you talking about? What's that have to do with the price of tea in China? There's a guy named Beckham who has more tattoos than all of them put together.
Neck, everything, yeah.
Like, and he is the queen loves him. She knighted him. You know what I'm saying? It's just this thought process.
That's your only tattoo you have?
No.
Okay.
I got my daughters on this side, and I had my first tattoo was on a hip. Dennis Rodman and I got our first tattoo on our left hip because Adrian Dantley, you know, we used to. Not only was our shorts short, our towels were just as short, which I thought was so suspect. But we don't want to get into that. I just wondered why did we have to. This is how small the towels were. You put one piece in your pinky and the other piece in your thumb, and you walk to the bathroom because that's as much towel as they gave us in any arena.
Yeah.
The towels were tiny.
I wonder why. You guys are big dudes.
No, they're just these tiny towels. I kept thinking, why do they do that? Anyway, and Adrian Dantley had money sacks on his hips at AD, and I was like, yo, that's dope. So right after training camp, I find out where the tattoo parlor is. Dennis and I go, and I get my Spider, because my nickname is Spider, over there.
Spider,
and Dennis gets strawberries. I go, why'd you get strawberries? He goes, well, you know, when I dive, I get, you know, you get strawberries. So I just put them there. You're a psycho.
He was punk. He was so punk. He was so punk rock to me.
You guys
man.
have no idea.
I mean, I seen documentaries and stuff, but he was just didn't give a fuck, man. I loved it,
Dog,
man.
he was so y'all before you
was-
could ever imagine. Like he only liked one group that was black, and that was Steve Arrington, who used to be the lead singer of Slave.
So he was into like hard rock and all that stuff.
That was it. That was it. I remember he got on a plane one time. This tell you, it was 1990, and got to the point where we had to wait on him.
I saw that.
He was gonna
I
be
saw
late.
that in the doc too. Yeah, waiting for
Yeah.
boys.
Hey man, you know our flight takes off at 5:15. Dennis ain't here yet. Yeah. Next, you had to wait till the next time we had a window to take off on our plane. No one said anything. Like, you ain't leaving Dennis, the Negro. Who's gonna play defense, grab rebounds, and you ain't leaving the man.
He's with Madonna right now. Yeah. So.
Yeah, wherever he is. But this is before M. This is when we in Detroit. Like we just started paying attention to mental health. We just started realizing what was happening. And Dennis, he gets on the bus, on the plane, and they're like, hey, D-Rod, sorry, man. And he gets on, and his jeans are ripped at the knee, at the bottom, and he's wearing these combat boots, and they're open. And we getting on, we go, what happened? And he goes, oh, man, it's just traffic. You get in a car accident? Like, we're looking at him like, you okay? And he has on ripped jeans. And Chuck was like, what are you wearing? Your jeans are ripped up. He goes, oh, this is the new style. This is the fashion. Chuck put a new rule. You can only have dark blue jeans, close to black, and they have to be, if you're going to wear jeans, they have to still be nice enough to wear with a suit jacket.
Intact. Yeah.
And I was like, D-Rod, what happened, dog? He goes, Sal, this is the way they wear jeans. I swear to God.
It's true. People started rocking like that.
And I thought it was the wackest thing ever. I kept saying, man, I don't like this style. Next thing you know, I got shit with more holes in
Doc
it.
Martens.
I hated it. I was like, I don't like this style. Didn't like it. Still, not my thing.
I love that. It was, I mean, that team. I mean, that you play. I mean, the biggest underdogs. You know, like really, it's incredible that you shut down the teams.
Always.
Yeah.
That's why we didn't leave Dennis.
I love that. Even though I was like in Cleveland, I was like, okay, this is good. You know, I was like, I love this. I was like, I love seeing, you know, like big teams go down, especially the Bulls.
I
People
know.
like to hate on the Bulls.
I hated them, but I was from Cleveland, and I was like, no, I don't like this.
It was so hard to hate him.
I know, it's true.
So hard.
to hate on them.
That propaganda the NBA put forth, man, you forgot that Magic and Bird were on two different coasts. Like they had Michael Jordan so dialed in. This is how good the propaganda worked. If you're watching another game and MJ is coming on the next game, when he would walk into the arena 2 hours before, they would cut to it during the game, say Michael Jordan has just entered the American Airlines Arena. Stay tuned, to the point where don't turn your channel. You don't have to watch this, what we have on, this pregame, but MJ is coming on at 3. Leave your channel here. That's how good the CBS and NBC had it going. And we were designed. Jalen Rose talked to my man Vlad on Vlad TV. He said, Sal is a bad boy. I'm designed to hate them. And, he was my man and all until the game started. Then, he was wearing red and white.
Yeah.
And, you know how black folks are with colors. colors.
Are you still in contact with MJ now? Or?
Yeah, no, I saw MJ the last time I saw him a couple of years ago, man. I haven't been around him in a while.
Yeah.
Still my dude, though. But, like, to be in the Last Dance documentary.
Yeah, man.
So I realize a lot of things now that I don't say I take for granted or I don't give energy to, is I'm in the documentary about the Bulls, right?
Mm-hmm.
Isaiah's in the documentary about the Bulls. Nobody else. Dennis is in the doc, but I don't even know. Yeah, it's Dennis. It's MJ was like, go to Sal. He got great stories. He remembers everything. And it's and because I haven't destroyed my brain with all that synthetic food, but
Word.
but I you have to throw something in there. But I say that I was in this documentary because in my brain, even though MJ was cool with me, Scotty at the time was cool with me, Horace Grant, I like BJ, I had to kill them. If it was them or me, it's gonna be me.
Yeah.
That's what Jesus said. Jesus said, "Turn the other cheek." Right?
Yeah. Did you enjoy watching that doc?
Yeah, I didn't know a lot.
Took you back, yeah.
Yeah, if we would have known that we were in the head as much as we would have been, you would have never heard of Michael Jordan. Like they would have never won. If we knew where the pressure points were, we knew we were making him better. He was working out and all that.
That was crazy. Even gain weight, defend himself.
We had the same agent. Like the reason I picked David Folk, besides he was MJ's agent. He was like at ProServe, so I went to ProServe. And they're looking out for you. They taking care of you. Yeah. I had the best contract for a number 11 pick, at least for 2 years. I had a sneaker deal with Avia for 3 years. It was all good. And that's what I said. When I realized, they're sending me sneakers and I'm wearing sweatshirts and they're sponsoring my basketball camp, but I'm making $60,000 and I'm a walking billboard.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Mm.
Yeah.
Do you remember where you were when you got drafted? Like,
what do you mean?
Like, where were you, like, when it was like, okay, you're going to the NBA, like, this is finally coming true?
Oh.
Was that 86? Is that the first draft
86.
pick? Yeah.
This is a crazy story.
Yeah.
So I get to I was like the year before said to be the number 1, number 2 player, and then my best friend since 10th grade, since 11th grade was Len Bias.
Oh, really?
So me and Len are together, and we're sitting together at the draft.
Damn.
Oh, my God.
So that night before, we are outside the Grand Hyatt on 42nd and Lex, and the furthest we're going is to that pizza parlor right to the right. I'm not getting shot. He was like, me either. I'm not getting jumped. I don't even want to meet no broads. Like, nothing is getting in the way of my draft tomorrow.
Ooh.
Anything can happen to everybody else. I'm not moving from this spot. Matter of fact, we said we're going to be down and get on the bus at 2 o'clock. I was downstairs at 12 o'clock. Like, I was ready to go.
Yeah.
And I had my bag. I was ready. So I know that whomever I'm drafted to, David Falk is there with me. I'm thinking he's there with me. He's there with me. He didn't have anybody. He wasn't representing anybody until me, number 11, which was rare for David Falk. And so I know I'm flying wherever. When they draft me, I'm going to my new plantation. I'm going to the new team. Just being serious.
How old are you then? How old are you?
22 years old. And Len literally is going home. And he's sitting there, and I'm talking smack the whole day. You know, Red Auerbach and told me, man, you know, I ain't going to be sitting there that long. You know, they got the number 2 pick, and Lenny's like, and Lenny know it's him. But I'm just, I'm going to Boston. I grew up a Celtic fan.
Oh, okay, I was going to ask you that.
First team to hire a black coach, and they win a lot. Yeah. Why everybody likes anybody non-winners? It's like not liking Drake. You're a hater. It's you know, if you don't, you know, you just don't like that he's winning with his way. So they pick Lenny, and Lenny gets up and says, "See you in the league, Sal." And I'm like, "You mother." Wow. And so I know I don't have a good meeting with any of the other teams that's coming up except Detroit, and Detroit is in 9 picks. I'm like, ain't this a bitch? I'm not getting drafted. I got 32 people in the stand. If I don't get drafted, we tearing this bitch up. My mom's included is taking some pens or something. Yeah, that was the last time I saw Lenny. So I see you in the league, and so
wow.
I get drafted to Detroit. We fly to Detroit, and then Dennis Rodman was my roommate in Hawaii. And he was the second pick to Detroit, but I didn't know that by then because after I got drafted, after the first round, we do the interviews, we headed to the airport. So when I get to Detroit, Dennis is there. So obviously it's the NBA and they're cheap. They put us both in the same room. Again. At a Holiday Inn. Like this is
wow.
This is the NBA, they're big spenders.
2 hand towels.
Right. And when I wake up, you know, he always watched cartoons. I knew that from when I was hanging out with him in Hawaii. He's watching cartoons and I wake up and I said, "What's up, man?" And I'm like, still hasn't hit me. I'm a pro, but I'm exhausted. He goes, "Man, something happened to your friend." Who I said, "My friend." He had a guy you sitting next to at the draft, and so he's watching cartoons. And I said, "Well," and I turned the channel, and that's the first time I see it. And we got to now leave and go do a press conference while all of that is happening. We still got to do a press conference about being in Detroit. So like a week, I have to fly back to Atlanta, and then a week later, I'm at the funeral. Yeah, he started the war on drugs. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that kicked it all off.
I remember that so well. I was like, I will never ever try anything. Like I was really, that changed so much with a lot of people around me.
I only had ecstasy because I kissed a girl. Wow. My wife. She had a lot of ecstasy. No. Once I kissed her.
You weren't doing like partying back then with everybody?
No. I like women.
Yeah, that's right? Your thing.
And cocaine makes you not remember, from what I understand, because guys get high and start touching other dudes and shit like that. And, you know, if you into it, like, but I only had cocaine one time. I kissed a girl and my lip went numb. And then my tongue started going numb. I was like, "Why am I going numb?" She was like, "Oh, did anything come out?" And I jumped up, ran, and got my brother. "No cocaine, my tongue. They're going to test me. I'm going to lose everything in this bit." I sound like Mike Tyson in this bit.
And you've been with your lady for 29 years?
31 years, but I've been married 29 years. But I've been a man for 58 years. So, like I told her though. I said I'm not the marrying type, and she said that's what everybody tells you. You are, and I said you're gonna be good in my future, but so I better keep you now. And so she's been great in my future life. You know what I'm saying? She was. And she tried to hang out with me, but she was young. She was 21, 22, didn't realize I was, you know, the devil reincarnate.
29 years, wow, man.
Yeah, but all she knew is, if you ask me, I'm going to give you the answer. So better watch what you ask me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she's been there for you the whole time, through everything. Yeah.
Well, she's been married to me. I ain't going to say she's been there. I've been there myself. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you were hosting Couples Retreat too, right?
I did that show on VH1.
And then you and your daughter have the Deuces 22, the cannabis.
Yeah, my daughter is she was at one time one of the youngest CEOs in cannabis, High Times.
Top
rated
50, yeah.
Top
Right?
50 women in cannabis.
Yeah.
We were a part of social equity. So we literally, everybody that works at the Grow in South Central is from the neighborhood. And
awesome.
but it's a tough business. So I made a television show out of it. And I literally, that's why I'm telling you about my platform.
Yeah.
John Salley Block Party once I finish this negotiating. You'll see that show. You'll see a show called Mental Wealth about finances and mental health situation and how your wealth is your mental health. Then I got a couple of podcasts that I'm putting out on it. I filmed a comedy show at a barbershop called Cut Above.
Wow.
And I did it for proof of concept. And then in Atlanta, I did live music with these up-and-coming artists. So I literally am capturing everything. I'm doing a modern-day Ed Sullivan. The only thing I don't have is motherfuckers spinning plates. That's the only thing I don't have.
That's amazing. That's all gonna be on your platform. That's sick.
Yeah, I'm giving creators money, and we also have a mechanism where if you watch a certain amount of hours, we pay the person watch it as well. Yeah, I just decided to share. And the only way you're going to get people to watch content that makes you think or that's not degrading is to pay you to do so. Because you watch for free stuff that destroys your brain.
It's true.
So I might as well pay you to enhance it.
Yeah, that's amazing.
What about the cannabis game that you said?
It's just crazy, man. I think it's gonna, and I'm involved with Isaiah Thomas.
I was going to ask if you
We're the largest growers of cannabis and hemp in the world, and no one knows. They grow in Colombia, and they have a partnership. And I don't even know why we stopped promoting this. We have a partnership where all the farmers. So in Colombia, the number one export was cocaine.
Right.
Period. Right. So the government knows that. Their government knows that.
Yeah.
Right. That's where cocaine comes from. Right. Just like in Afghanistan, that's where opium comes from. Right.
Yes.
So, but we all know this.
Yes.
But so much of it gets into the country because it's countries and coods, right? So they have to change that. What do they need? They needed hemp, easy to grow, grows 4 times a year in that climate. So you can get 4 harvests as opposed to 2. Right next to it is a sister, cannabis, which pretty soon will be legal throughout the world.
You think that?
Well, I know why it's being held up here in America is because of China. So, of Asia. I'm going to say that. Just to let you know how powerful Asia is to the California, Los Angeles ecosystem and financial part of Los Angeles, 4 million, let me get this right, $4 billion was spent in Beverly Hills alone from Asia.
4 billion.
In 2016.
2016.
So imagine what happened in 2019 is Beverly Hills shut down.
Yes.
Most of those. That's why you don't see any. You remember you would drive around and that was there and that was this, and now nothing is there. That's why, and they're putting up more buildings. Like I just came down Pico, and now there's 5 new buildings on Pico.
Yeah.
Because they're taking away places that you consume and putting up places that you live. So now it lessens where you get product. So during the pandemic, big box stores stay open, but mom and pops had to close. The COVID didn't like mom and pop stores. So they have been designing us at this point, and I'm telling you, if Asia was spending $4 billion and it's illegal in China and in Singapore and in Korea and in Japan, like all of those places, big time situation on weed. If they're not the ones buying it and they're paying the most for everything, we can't sell it.
Interesting.
It's really interesting. I haven't thought about it like that either.
Yeah. And like you go to Brittany Griner has been in jail for 9 months now on a cartridge.
Yes.
Right? It is political, but it's still a cannabis. They still have a law saying you can't have cannabis there.
No, it's terrifying in Russia.
Right.
It's hardcore.
It's scary.
And they have the death penalty in Belarus.
Yeah.
If you get caught with anything like that.
So what's his name? Dallas Austin got caught with a couple of pills in Dubai and Saudi Arabia and almost couldn't get out.
Wow, man.
Yeah, he can never go back.
Right.
He said Dallas got so afraid you don't even know he did music. Like,
Really?
Yeah, he disappeared quickly. Like it became a thing. So I just know that part China won't get to it, but once America, I think 20, and then you got to think right now we're building a subway system, or rail system in Los Angeles from downtown all the way up Wilshire to the beach. In 2028, that's the whole thing is being built for the Olympics.
Yes, absolutely, because it's impossible.
And the world is going to be here.
Right.
And cannabis you can smoke in America. China said if they have any idea of their citizens smoking and they test and you test positive for, you're going to jail.
And technically, you're not allowed to be smoking weed and entering dispensaries if you are on a visa
Yeah.
in the U.S.
Really?
So like if they really want to, they can check you.
Yeah.
And if they find out, they can not let you back in the country.
And it depends on how much is in your body because like Toby last night was smoking tons of dank at the concert. He had all kind of, and it was funny because when we found out, everybody was just blowing weed toward him. he was like
I
a
felt
chimney.
something last night. That's crazy, but the Olympics are not like, wow, that's fucking bugged
Yeah, you got
out.
to. Yeah, it's not what it's always bigger.
But it will be legal though.
Well, it's legal now.
I mean, as far as federally in the U.S. Like,
Well, it depends on who gets into office, right?
well, even both of the candidates, were saying this before that they were gonna, but that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, they also said they were going to forgive college tuition.
Yeah.
They also said healthcare is important. They also said we're going to take everybody out of war. They also said,
But it's interesting that places like Canada, of course, completely legal.
yeah, it's only 25 million people.
Right. But what about Mexico? Do you think they will ever be legal there?
Well, they grow it there, and the stuff they grow in Mexico should be illegal. It's horrible.
But I mean, as far as
Shit is
trade,
dirt
I mean,
rash.
if you're manufacturing-
Don't trade for that weed.
Okay. But in like Colombia and other places, the U.S.
Well,
that would be the future. Like, getting
yeah,
involved.
it's definitely going to be the future because Colombia is in disarray, just like Venezuela, and when you have people who will work for food, that's the place, and that's by design too for everybody listening. Right. Don't think that these places being toppled and their money being, devalued is by mistake. It's by design. They need people to go to school.
Yeah.
They need people to follow when they need something that needs to be done by hand. They have to keep it in a place since, the prison system won't allow them to grow weed.
It's crazy, man. Do you used to do Operation Smile stuff?
No, I don't do Operation Smile. I miss it. That was a great charity I was involved in. Cedar Sinai Sports Spectacular I was involved with. The Pump Foundation is the latest. I still do things with PCRM, Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine. That's our lobbyist group for vegans. And anything, I'm doing an event 20 to 22, October 20th in Houston with Dr. Baxter Hamilton, who is a cardiologist for the past 30 years. For 20 years, he did it the other way. Now, he has been helping people's body to defeat dis-ease with raw food.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah. So I'm going to do his gala, and he's amazing. I mean, I'm telling you, I ate the food there last week when I was in Houston, and amazing food. And I'm telling you, some raw. I want to be a raw food vegan.
I tried it, man. It's hard, man. I tried it, yeah.
Yeah, because which I kind of have now, but I still like heated food. I think
too,
that's
man.
my problem.
Like warm food in my belly, yeah, for sure. I've tried it before.
I did it without it, which is better for me. I had more energy. My sex was amazing. I asked myself. That's how I know it was amazing.
Did you try to get Michelle Obama to go vegan?
Well,
and did it work?
Well, what I did with PETA is I allowed me saying that because it was going to sound better than me saying it than PETA saying it. Right. It was black on black crime, and I know Mr. Obama. He told his wife, "Don't like him. He plays for the enemy," because he was from Chicago. I was just happy that the brother knew me. I was like, yeah, I'm the bad boy. Yeah, he looking at me.
Right.
And I always said I wanted to go play in his gym. I was like, I'm going to get in trouble because I'm going to block a shot and it's going to hit him in his eye. Going to have a busted eye, trying to give the State of the Union. My fellow Americans.
I did that.
Yeah. Yeah, man, you play too rough. Yeah, I'm sorry.
So you got to meet him. He was cool.
Yeah, I met him when he was a senator. Yeah. he was at the game with Oprah, sitting next to Oprah and LA. Yeah.
And then you went to Congress too for like a Children's Nutrition Act too.
Yeah, man, and they tried it. I did that so I can explain. I'm trying to get into the vending vending machine business.
In schools have healthier options, basically?
Right?
Okay.
And I wanted healthy option. I wanted vegan and vegetarian options. I wanted coconut milk or coconut water.
Dope.
And that's mainly what I wanted, coconut water. But it was an important thing. It wasn't just for them getting free lunch or free breakfast. It was for them having food year round. Because some of the kids in school, those were the only 2 meals they were having.
Right. For sure.
Right? White and black. Mm-hmm. Predominantly white. Mm-hmm. Right? Because black folks are going to, come in here, boy, and eat and that kind of thing. So predominantly, there was these white kids who were being fed Doritos and Gatorade, and why not do meth? You're already feeding it. Meth. I was racist, targeted, but it landed.
He's got the jokes.
Sometimes you just have to go with the land of the joke.
Yo, the comedic timing is insane.
It is. But that was it. So and when I got there, it's me, Allison, Felix, Summer. What's his name? Winter Grace was also with us, and they had these people from the Dairy Association. Wow. They had their wives show up, and we're mothers of the farms and what you're saying to us. I said, hold on. And they were like, John. And I was like, I'm in Congress. So what I was going to say is, you don't mind a machine pulling on your tits, right? Like you think it's okay that you put a machine to some tits to pull the milk that's supposed to go to a calf should go to you and you crying about your kid? Put your tit in your kid's mouth. What I wanted to say.
Yeah.
I am black. I know what not to say in certain places. But is what I wanted to say. But that's the thing that makes you think and to just pay attention. They were acting like we were stealing their livelihood, right? Mm. We're stopping you from murdering and being a murder and abetting 46 million murders of land animals. Yeah. So your kid doesn't get milk, good. It also doesn't do the body good.
It does not, man.
No.
That was forced on us.
And why are you still drinking milk as adults anyway?
I know, man.
And wonder why the kids got, you got to beef your kid up. No, you don't.
It's crazy how that's normal. Like, why wouldn't you just feed a woman's breast milk to a cow? You never do that.
No. Lucky ass cow.
But but how we think it's normal. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. It's
the
called
4 food
bestiality if you do that.
groups.
But when we do it, it's called food. No, it's bestiality. You're drinking the milk from another animal.
Yeah.
That is designed, it's called bovine fluid. It's designed to make a calf 250 pounds. It's designed to do that. So if you give it to a child, it's designed to do that. And if you give cow milk directly to a child, it'll get sick.
Yeah. I love your vegan approach too. It's not preachy. It's just educational and leading by example.
Yeah, don't blame me because I'm sexy. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Were you ever Peter's sexy vegan ever?
I should have been. I was the 2020 humanitarian
I
award.
was before.
Yeah?
I just don't know what years. I don't know what years. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Oh, it's my claim to fame. Yeah. Would you open another restaurant out here, you think?
I want to open, and this is
Like
the deal.
burgers,
I'd be
fries?
selfish. I was going to open I see Bo.
Ooh, that's our shit.
Yeah.
Today.
Yeah. And I met a lady. I just met her, but it was during while Mercury was in retrograde, and I wasn't talking to nobody. The psychos got me, man. But I met her at a gifting suite for the Emmys, and I'm definitely thinking about it. But my daughter just said to me yesterday, like, let's stay out of the food business. But it's so difficult. But it's not, but it is. But in order for it to be good, I have to give up my life. Meaning I have to be there.
You're going to have to be show face.
Even if you go on vacation, you're still there.
Yeah, and there's got to be something that doesn't
Right.
really exist so much. You know, it's like, why is your acai better than?
Well, mine is better because I said so. No.
We go to this place, Green Table, down the street. There's no reason
Terrible.
to
No, I'm joking. Stop saying
it's
brands if they're not paying you. Go ahead.
No, we love them though. Like it's
You
good
go to a
prices.
place down the place that
They have the
has
best acai bowls in LA, man. No
until they
sugar
pay
added.
you,
They don't
Toby.
pay me. They hook me up.
You're messing with all of our money.
They hook me up. It's a
It's
really
like
nice
it's,
place.
you're
You love
just
it.
like
You
a
love it.
prostitute without a pimp. Useless.
He was like, "Don't name brands unless they're paying you." I love it.
Yeah.
But it's a great place to support. It's independent. It's one of a kind. That's what we're like.
Yeah.
It's from Italian. He's in Italy. Yeah.
Italian. He's from Italy.
Wow.
Yes, he knows his coffee and he knows his vegan.
Yeah, let me tell you that about coffee.
You a coffee head? You like coffee?
Yeah, so I went to the coffee competition in France in China. And,
What?
Yeah,
What the hell's a
with the
coffee competition?
all the top 50 how do you call them?
Baristas.
Baristas. So, have you ever tasted coffee made by a barista?
I hope so. Is that Starbucks? I'm just kidding.
You sit around and tell me you liked it.
I mean, I was at a place where they were telling me like this is exactly what makes a good coffee.
And then you tasted it. And you were like, where's the diabetes? I mean, sugar. Where's the diabetes and the milk? So what I went there with a group, with a machine called nut milk, where you put whatever nuts you want to put in, almond, soybeans, these nuts, whatever ones you want to put in, right? Whichever one you want to put in, and you put water and it makes it.
Right.
Now, this was amazing because when you're in China, they don't drink milk.
No.
Right?
Most people
But if some people want to mix when they're the cappuccino makers who can make all the designs, some people wanted nut milk. And if Asian people are going to drink any kind of milk, it's going to be a nut milk.
Absolutely.
So I was there with them, but then I got to give the awards to the top guys. I know how to make it. I look, in China, I went to in Shanghai, 20,000 square foot Starbucks that's also a roaster downstairs. And they have machines that are only there making the coffee. It was amazing.
At a Starbucks.
Yeah, but China. In China.
Wow, dude.
There's 5,000 Starbucks in China or something like that.
And the coffee's way better than here, probably, yeah.
This is what I have to say. If you have a place that has to serve coffee and it's on every corner, you can't have the best beans.
It's true.
You have to have what's abundant. So if you want the best coffee, you would go to Africa.
There you go.
You would, because that's
Long story short, you were giving out you were giving out the best nut awards in China. Long story
I've
short.
been giving that. I said I got 4 daughters. I've been giving that award away for a while.
So are you a coffee every day guy, every morning?
No, I drink yerba mate.
Yes.
And I drink.
By what brand?
Well, right now I'm drinking it by Maze.
Yeah.
Amaz.
Maz.
I'm
We're gonna lace this dude up. Yeah.
Yeah.
He said his only brand he's not getting paid for in this episode. That means he likes it.
That I said it, and then
Yeah.
I mentioned Liquid Death because I like the white can.
Yeah.
What's the black can? It's a sparkling, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, everything black sparkles.
What's your daily rituals? You work out?
Waking up.
Okay, that's a good one.
And I wake up and I drink. So I have water by the side of my bed, which is spring water with a pinch of baking soda. And so I wake up and I drink that liter to start my day off. And the reason you do that, you should never drink water without baking soda or sea salt inside of it, because if not, it goes straight to your bladder. I want it to go to my kidneys. So when water becomes whatever it touches. So when I alkaline the water with sodium and sea salt, I now get 88 minerals that I wouldn't have gotten, because you're not going to remember it's in sea salt. And so I do that. I put that in my body. I know what I'm doing to my organs. I then grind up some sativa and take a bowl hit, because I have to start the day in another reality.
Baking soda and water. That's crazy. I never heard that.
Yeah, half a teaspoon of baking soda and a liter of water. You put it in everything. Let me tell you, baking soda, one, cleans everything. Right. Sometimes I do oil letting, mean I put coconut oil in, and I just keep rinsing it around my mouth. I do that just to keep my teeth white. I know you were thinking about the Paul Mooney joke. How you I left it alone. And I haven't eaten today, I don't think.
Intermediate fasting?
Did I eat? I think I did. I had I made these pancakes. This lady makes this vegan pancake mix, and from the farmers market in Calabasas. Now, it's a small mason jar. It was $20, $16.
Sure.
And my daughter and I was like, "Yo, you're tripping." And she says, "All you have to do is open it and put it on the grill." Unbelievable.
Wow.
It was unbelievable. And I'm so mad. We went through it today, and my wife said, "Well, it's not until Saturday." And I was...
That's incredible.
But then I told you, the food business, I'm thinking. She said, once you buy it, you got 4 days. So, that's a problem. That is a problem, yeah. I'm lazy.
Do you ever you ever like take some shots and play basketball ever anymore?
No. I was... not the name drop. I was at Cedric the Entertainer's house. It was 2009 or 10. It was 2011. Might even be 12. And, Dwayne Martin is there, who was in the movie Above the Rim, actor. He's on Real Housewives of Hollywood. And Cedric was like, yeah, we got some young cats, man. We're going to play against each other. Come on, Sal. And I said, all right. And I had sneakers in my car, and they were like, "Oh, you gonna play?" I was like, "Yeah, I don't play anymore, but I'm gonna give it a try." Right. Man, this young dude caught the ball, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm in position," and he did some shake, and he went by me on this side, on my left side, for people that are not watching, and I've been playing since I was 6. So as soon as you start going away, I know to drop step my foot. And he went by me so fast that I had to look over my right shoulder to see him. And I looked back down and my legs hadn't moved. And I was like, oh, I'm done.
Wow.
And my wife was like, what? And I said, my legs didn't move. And she goes, what do you mean? I go, the reaction is gone. That piece is gone.
Wow.
And so I'm like, yeah, it's not there. Like, I'm amazed at Tom Brady.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Amazing.
How old is that guy?
44.
Wow. Okay.
This is why. At 44, I was 44. That was 14 years ago. I was overweight. I couldn't shoot. I'm just thinking what he's doing at 44 at that level.
Yeah.
You don't have the same reaction. And
Yeah.
when you get hit and you see the floor, you're like, oh, wait, put me down lightly. It's not like you get hit and you jump up like a kid. It's a different thought. So I just, that was it. And then it's not fun to me.
Yeah.
Because they paid me to do it.
Right.
And then they go, well, you should teach it. Now, it's not fun to me because, they think more about, and it's funny because it was me too. My haircut, what chains I got on, if my fit is right. I was doing all that dumb thing, but I could play.
Yeah.
But I see it. And then I see people who already think they're at the point. Tob and D, I'd say this to people who take it I don't take it for granted that I was a 4-time NBA champion. I don't. And the reason I don't, because in America, right, there's 434 NBA players. There's 379 million Americans. So that means one of every million Americans is an NBA basketball player, or a little bit less, right? More. And every year, there's only 50 jobs. And every year, they draft 25 new guys. So there's only 25 jobs.
It's crazy.
Period, in the NBA. And half of them are going to Europeans. And they had to start a new lead in Africa, not to have these guys jump 11 feet and throw the ball down. They had to start a whole league to keep people out of getting into it because the 25 jobs would be gone.
Wow.
Yeah, they got BLA, basketball lead Africa, and they got the African NBA. So they have 2 leagues. And then they got the European. I played in Greece for 6 weeks. And
wow,
ballers. And this was the trip when everybody's talking about, man, the dream team lost, the redeem team. Man, you playing against Dirk Nowitzki, who was the 2-time NBA MVP, Luka, Dragic. I mean, you got guys coming over here who've been watching the same stuff we was watching with better facilities. And they're allowed to go pro at 15. Tony Parker played for his father in France at 15 years old. He didn't go to high school.
Wow.
He went to work. Yeah. So when I saw what they were doing with the Mellow Boy, with the bar, what do they call it? Ball. I understood it, and everybody was talking stuff. When I saw what they did with Serena and Venus, everybody was like, "Oh!" I said, "Hey, this is the way it used to be." Was Agassi? Not Agassi. Yeah, Agassi.
Yeah.
John Bjork. Bjorn Borg. 15, 16, playing high school. So I playing at 16 years old in Wimbledon. I don't want to go to work.
Yeah.
College is always going to be there. I'm going to go back to your college thing. The reason I said that about school is you can always go to college. You can't always be young.
It's true, man. It's really true.
So if I could make a bunch of money young, even if I only played a year or 2 years, right? And all of a sudden, God forbid, that person blew his knee out and didn't have the ability. Well, hopefully, right? Hopefully, they saved some money. If they didn't, it's the same as going to college and not making the pros. You got to get a job. So you might as well take this professional job where they pay you to play as long as you can.
Yeah.
Then go to college. That's what happened to J.R. Smith. J.R. Smith went back to college, playing on his high college team, playing golf. Shaq went back and got his master's.
Oh, he did? Wow.
Yeah, and then his doctorate is Dr. Shaquille O'Neal. So
That's
you can
amazing.
always go to school. You can't always be young.
Yeah.
So all those people, stop telling kids you got to get your education. You got something to fall back on. Don't ever tell kids to fall backwards. It's the dumbest way to fall. I teach my daughters how to fight. I said, don't lean back, lean in. And they go, what do you mean? I said, somebody go to throw a punch and you see the punch coming, lean down and into them. Watch what happens. They're going to miss you and they're going to be like, oh, I'm without a weapon. I teach it all the time.
Yeah. Do your daughters play basketball?
They did, and I watched my daughter play one time, and then I looked at her and said, you know you don't have to do this. Because you're really not doing it, but you can stop us driving out to Rancho Cucamonga. Like, goodness gracious, if you don't want to do this, tell me. She goes, I don't want to do this. I said, then quit. Mommy said, I got to go. I got to get it because I'm going to get a scholarship and you're not going to pay for college. I was like, I tell you, my wife ain't always been there, but she been there. She was like, yeah. And then I said, well, I paid for 1 year. And then she came out and said, how much you got left to pay? I said, shit, man, just tuition and room and board was $350,000.
Wow, man.
Right? And if you don't get a job paying $350,000, right?
Wow.
It's absurd, though.
It's ridiculous. When we had this conversation, I said, you should, because she's a European flyer. I said, she goes, I should go to school in England. I said, yes, you should. Yes. It's $40,000 for 4 years.
Exactly.
Wow.
That's why I don't understand why somebody, I mean, it's a scam.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you learn the accent. You learn the accent. You learn to go to Goa, in India to hang out. Like, so she said, okay, so let's put it into my future. And her future was cannabis. So we spent, close to $250,000 in learning the business. So what I have out of it is 8 TV shows and to show you what to do, what not to do, where to go, how it is, and the making of the brand.
That's amazing, man. Do you remember your last job where you weren't the boss?
Uh-huh.
Your last job?
Yeah, I was at Fox, and I got this is so crazy. I got fired from the radio. I took over for Steve Harvey, so they were bringing somebody in, but I got paid for the whole year. And then I got fired from Fox. They literally had me show up and had to have security. And I've been there for 9 years, and because it's protocol. Like security got to walk you out. I was like, is he gonna help me carry some of this?
Yeah.
Don't look in the box, bro. Some of them clothes made it to the house. Yeah, it was fine. I got fired from Fox, and then we were only making $61 million a year on Best Damn Sports Show. That's no money for them. But this is the deal. A lot of people feel you shouldn't have a show more than 4 years anyway in Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? So they feel 4 years is a good run. We did 9. It was cool. It was the best job. I kept telling you every day, I said, yo, man, this is the best job you guys ever going to have. My boy John said, are you clowning us or are you serious? I said, dude, I get here at 1. Our meeting starts at 1. I get here at 1:10 because, I had to keep it. I'm going to keep it brief. I'm going to keep it black, but I'm going to keep it brief. No. And I had to be there. I had to be 10 minutes late. And then just for good measure, I didn't want to lose my card. No. So, and then we would talk about sports that I had nothing to do with. And they would already have the questions. And we had an IFB, so I knew what I was asking. You understand? So, and then at 5:05, I was on the 405 headed back to the Valley. And they wanted to pay us, they paid me like $80,000 a month to do that.
A month? Wow.
And that was not a lot of money. Because what these guys are getting, Stephen A. is making $15 million a year on not being correct.
Wow, man.
Can you imagine if he was correct? $15 million a
month. That's crazy, man.
To talk about sports and not play it.
Right.
Yeah.
You're making what the players are making.
Yeah.
To talk about it.
Damn.
That's insane.
That's a crazy thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a journalist first in the Philadelphia News or whatever they call it. And, he'd be in the locker room and sitting around, listening, have the pad right there. And then they hate asking questions out loud because the other guys are going to steal the answers. So watching that was fun.
I'm so happy you got into the Wu-Tang last night because I was stressing about it all day. These guys can vouch for it. I'm like, I get Sally. But he got into the show last night. He loved it.
Man.
Oh, he got in?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hell yeah.
Yeah, they're
it was a great show.
The agent, Peter Sullivan, hooked it up. This wonderful friend of mine named Coda. She's a great actress too, and model. And they hooked it up.
It was a great show.
I rolled in. Yeah, it was. I love going places with my daughters. I went to Coachella 2016 with 2 of them.
Nice.
And then 2018, I went with all 4 of them and let them all meet each other. And then
Yo, should probably get this guy on stage with you, man. Oh my god, man.
hilarious and true. But and then
They're like hip hop too. They're like old school hip hop.
you
well.
had no choice. They know from me, but like my daughter just put me on this new dude named Omar Apollo.
Never even heard of him.
Hold on.
My son probably knows who it is. Yeah. Yeah, Sally
Let me
needs some
see.
glasses
What's
too.
the name of this kid?
I'm to lace about my glasses.
His name is
like
Omar
Chappelle over
Apollo.
What's his name?
Omar Apollo.
Okay.
Right?
Wow. Check out that dude. I'm gonna check him out.
And he has a song.
Is he a rapper?
No,
Okay.
called Evergreen.
Okay. It's good.
Yeah,
All right.
it's unbelievable, and then the story behind it is even better.
I'll check it out for sure. Yeah,
but
yeah.
you guys aren't paying me to tell you the story.
Do you have any top 5 MCs? Is that hard for you?
MC Johnny T.
He was a rapper too back in the, by the way.
Yeah, my. What do you mean? Best
Like somebody
rappers?
like influences in hip hop that you loved growing up, or
Jay-Z, KRS-One. Black Thought,
ooh, underrated.
Timmy Hall, y'all know because he put me on. But I love Kendrick and Cole.
Yes.
Lil Weezy is the best though.
Wow.
And I know people are going to think I'm crazy.
No, he's incredible, man.
Yeah, you just check his catalog and then come back to me.
Yeah, we saw Kendrick perform 2 weeks ago. It was an incredible show, man. This tour right now. Did you see it?
Yeah.
It was like a
I
religious
saw,
experience, man.
yeah, he does that on purpose. Yeah, he became an Israelite. And I saw him at last October at Day in Vegas. Tyler, the Creator's joint. You know, Fred the Godson, he died, but Fred the Godson was a unbelievable lyrics. Jada Kiss is out of work. I can't put him in the top 5 because they all do different. Like Nas is different.
Rakim.
Rakim, his style and his cadence. But then there's people like Coogee Rap,
Yeah, man.
right? Coogee Rap
Big
and
Daddy Kane.
Phife Dawg.
Ooh.
But you know, let's go back. Big Daddy Kane by far was one of my favorite of all time. Him against KRS bothered me because I didn't.
That
But
bothered me
I
too.
love hip hop, so I was able to take it.
We watched it.
But I don't like when my favorites. I don't like when they mean toward each other.
Yeah, that bummed me out.
Unless you're in a battle. If you're in a battle, then you got to say what you got to say, but you leave it at battle. Like I heard this young lady saying, yo, she's in her 50s. She goes, when there was a beef, you either went on stage or you went on wax. And if you went on wax, you better then do it on stage. But it's not supposed to spill over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of those verses are hard to watch. I forgot which one it was. That was a little tense. Fat Joe Ja Rule one.
Fat Joe Ja Rule was tough.
Yeah, it was rough. Yeah,
That was against.
But the Dipset one was incredible with the locks. That was incredible.
That's because they were prepared.
Incredible, man.
Yeah.
Shady Kiss ran the whole show, man.
Because he's never not performed. He's always been on, right?
Mhm.
And then I did a show on VH1. Styles P was on that show.
Vegan as well,
Yeah,
right?
vegan. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Juice Spot.
Yeah. I try to get to a lot of cats to that point.
What, the veganism?
Yeah, I mention it, man. Sometimes craziest times, but
I mean, KRS-One had my philosophy. We talked about being a vegetarian.
yeah.
I wonder if he still is. I'm not even sure.
I don't think so. I wouldn't
Definitely
know.
inspired me back then hearing
Yeah.
that song. You know
No
what I mean?
beef,
That song.
no hamburger. To me, that's self-murder. Yeah.
That was incredible, dude.
Mhm.
Who else is vegan in the community like that? I know
Big Sean,
Big Sean, Dead Prez.
Dead Prez.
Big Sean's vegan?
Guess so. He
Yeah.
said, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Sally knows all, man, like that.
Yeah.
Jermaine Dupri for sure, OG.
Jermaine Dupri.
Will.i.am.
Will.i.am, yeah.
Amazing human, by the
Is
way.
it wait Waka Flocka?
He was.
He
but
was, and he dropped off.
Yeah,
You know, also, what's the guy who does the Pizza Hut commercials?
Craig Robinson.
Yeah, he was for a second.
Yeah.
And
then,
then,
I see him at Crossroads a bunch. Yeah.
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 That Pizza Hut money is big. Made me chicken wing.
Do you have any regrets?
Doing this show, no. Oh, I don't believe in regrets. I don't believe in regrets or guilt. Right? So I have even though I have this philosophy that all sentient beings deserve the time to live, I know what I believe is that you're born and you die. Everything in between is on you. There's nothing after. And they go, well, it's the afterlife. Who's gone and come back? Even when Jesus came back, he came back different. He didn't talk to nobody. He didn't go to the same neighborhood, nothing. He left his whole crew there. He left his crew. He's like, yo, spread the gospel. I'm going to hang out in India with this girl with a dot in the middle of her head. It's y'all didn't even help me down off the cross. I ain't down with the clique no more. And all you Christians that get upset, I don't care.
It's an interesting story,
It's
though.
1,800 years old. Yeah, you're not going. That's such a get out.
Yeah.
Such a get out. He was married and said, but you ain't gonna remember me. Many men. Oh, that's all.
He had no choice in the whole matter.
Man, such a bad job.
It's like, his right-hand man.
You know you can't talk about religion, though. I learned that in the movie Big Fish. Don't talk about religion or politics, right? That was it. But, man, you really – because we just talked about it. You can get canceled.
Yeah.
Right? But before I get in trouble, I just want to ask people to just think about it this way. They didn't write about Jesus until 324 years after his death. You can't tell me what the number one movie was 10 years ago. You think some people are going to remember a story 320. Nobody that knew him was on the planet. They had been dead year after year after year, 324. And plus, people were only living to 41. Right? In America, there was low life rates. We raised the life rates according to penicillin in 1957. People went from living to 60 years old. You know why they gave you Social Security? Is because they knew you wasn't going to live to 65. Then our lifespan moved up to 72. None of those people were around when Jesus was on the planet.
What's the lifespan?
If it's a true story.
That's an interesting take.
It's an interesting take, man. This is probably the most DIY program you've ever been on your whole career.
No, this is
in somebody's kitchen, just chilling. No cameras.
This is
chilling.
dope. Oh man, I saw you cooking crack before. Don't talk about it.
Right.
I see the fault.
This is awesome, man.
Yeah, this is to think about it. Everyone out there, this is a retro 1950s kitchen. And, of course, he's going to have 3 black guys in the kitchen. Where else was he going to have us in the 50s?
I didn't see that one coming.
Couldn't have us walk in the front door.
I know, right?
I saw him walk in the back door.
Thought I was robbing the place.
Yeah, I was like, yo, brother man back there.
I always went to the back door of my house.
It's that design. You've been trained. Well. Your girl say you still going to the back door of the house. No.
My final question, I pretty much got the answer. You're an optimist or pessimist?
I'm optimistic about my life, but this is the deal. I'm not gonna say only. When I have a negative thought, I check it because I realize it's just a thought. Right? The Bible says the thought of an impriority is just as bad as doing it. I'm going to give you scripture too.
Okay.
But just that thought process, that everything that happens is manifest by you. One of the coolest things is Jesse Reyes was talking about the book of Now, written by Eckhart Tolle. And in the book it said the past doesn't exist and neither does the future. So whatever you want in the future, you have to do it now.
Yeah. The power of now.
Power of now, yeah. Right? If you don't do it now, then none of it makes a difference until now.
Yeah.
So I'm optimistic. I don't trust people because I've seen people be people.
Yeah.
I saw human beings being human.
Right.
human being human. So I'm positive about what I'm going to do. Hopefully I get to jump on you if you do something aggressive. I'm always, not always, but I try to stay on guard. I try not to be caught slipping. Like last night, I'm with my daughter, and she went to put on these, she's already 6'2", she went to put on these heels. I said, Chick, we might have to run. What's wrong with you? It's a hip-hop concert. We're not going to see Fleetwood Mac. What's wrong with you? Like, she was like, what? I was like, hey, Negro, you got to be quick to go. Like, and wear the backpack. Don't have a purse you got to carry. Strap that over.
Did she enjoy the show?
Yeah, she liked the atmosphere, and she loved hanging out with me. And I explained to her, in 2018, we were in Sri Lanka. In 2017, we were in St. Martin. And she and I were smoking weed in St. Martin, looking out. And I said, look at this, because you'll never see it again. Like, this will no longer be here. And she was like, what are you talking? I said, well, they got a hurricane coming, and these fools think it's going to hit them, miss them. I swear to God, I was on the last flight out of St. Martin before it was destroyed.
Wow.
And she was like, we never going to. And then we were in Sri Lanka before the Civil War. And I told her when we were there, I said, we were the wrong people, but this is a great experience. And sure enough, we can't get back into. So she realizes life is fleeting. Like, enjoy it now.
I love that, man.
Yeah.
Any more questions for this wonderful man? Yeah, man. I appreciate all you've done, all you put out there in the world, all your positivity.
Definitely.
For the animals, everything, using your voice. And
just
your
make sure you give me all your sponsors.
I want to talk to you about your platform, too, though, for sure.
Yeah, make sure you check out JohnSalleyBlockParty.com. It'll be up and live, I guess, at the end of the month.
A vegan sneaker, too, maybe?
I went to do it, man. There's a whole bunch of brands that have it, and as opposed to, this is what happens, and I'm going to tell all vegans why they don't brand things as vegan, because that will then tell you that they're taking the side of not killing animals, right? So Louis Vuitton can never tell you this is a vegan bag,
but they have vegan options now. I heard,
yeah, they always did. Yeah, anytime you see a Louis Vuitton bag with rubber, or they have rubber and rubber zippers, yeah, those are the ones that can float in water, and they don't even advertise it that way.
Wow.
And then most shoes you get are not leather unless you're buying $1,100 shoes. The rest of them is synthetic. Yeah. So I can wear these Air Force Ones because I know they're synthetic leather.
And they can say plant-based sneakers, but that's kind of weird instead of thing.
Yeah.
Vegan's a tricky word to throw around, though. People get really taken back with the word vegan.
Yeah, I know. I used to be called black. Now I'm African American. And now they're saying, hey, you're a BIPOC. Motherfucker, I don't know Pac. I don't know Pac. I met him once, but I don't know him. What's that Biggie and Pac put together? BIPOC.
Oh, man. You got to do some stand-up, dude. I can't wait to see you do stand-up.
I do. They don't pay well.
I think you'd kill
I know.
it,
It's $25 a set. I don't like that. It's still $25 a set?
Yeah. Depends on where, yeah.
Yeah. When I had an ego, I wanted to, I would be better at what you call it, but I've been working on diminishing the ego. I know it may not sound like it. This is just charm, bitches. It's not ego. But yeah, it's hard to get up on stage, man, and
Yeah, I've seen this guy
trying to kill you. They do. If you go to a comedy joint, trust me, if a comic gets off, the next guy is trying to kill that comic. Right?
Yeah.
They're trying to better that comic.
Yeah, they want to bury you.
Trying to make you not remember what just came off stage. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable competitive.
It's true.
It can be that way.
Yeah. But I ain't scared of nobody.
I know. You're doing great, you pal. I just sent
You are, man.
You sent Sally your stuff. You scared Sally to in the back door.
Hey, I got this liquid death. I was going to throw it on her.
Dude, thank you so much, man. We've been
you,
talking
brother.
for months. This is awesome, man. I really appreciate you being here.
Death.
This is awesome, man.
Bless up.
All right, guys. Thanks, everybody. I always ask my guests if they have any regrets. I personally don't have any regrets. Even when it comes to my tattoos. I have the silliest tattoos. Even my ET on my leg, it's still a childhood memory for me, and I love it. I've had tattoos on top of tattoos strictly because I wanted more tattoos. I started getting tattoos when I was 18. I'm 52 now, and I can't stop. I've had laser treatment before on something on my arm. It's 4 tattoos on top of each other. And that experience at that place was pretty fast. It was pretty cold. It was in and out, swipe the credit card. Don't really tell me much. Didn't give me much details of anything was going to happen. So I never went back. So as of most recently, I'm so lucky enough to have had 2 sessions at Removery Tattoo Removal. My tattoo on my arm that looks like a big black blob is now super light. I've had 2 sessions. I have a long road ahead of me. None of this stuff happens overnight. You cannot take a tattoo up in one sitting. You have to be patient. And it's painful. They ice you up. It's super fast. To me, it felt like a bunch of rubber bands. But what's more painful than that is looking at something on your body that you think you're stuck with for the rest of your life. That sucks. But now for me, I'm really happy I started this journey. I'm slowly going to get this tattoo removed. I never thought in a million years I have any kind of real estate on my arm. I don't even know what I want, but it's exciting. I'm so honored to announce that One Life One Chance podcast is now with Removery. I have a code. Use TobyH20 and get $100 off your first session. Call 866-934-4570 or go to removery.com. One of the most experienced tattoo removal companies in the world. Over 600,000 removal treatments done. 100 locations. U.S., Canada, and Australia. State-of-the-art peak-away laser technology. Cryo-technology to reduce any discomfort. This is so exciting for me because all I do in these podcasts is talk about tattoos. From day one, if you've been listening to this podcast, talk about tattoos, talk about getting removed, talk about getting covered up. So this is such a perfect fit for me. Once again, go to removery.com or call 866-934-4570. Use my code TobyH20 and get $100 off. These guys are located everywhere. Try it out. Yo, people always ask me what kind of frames I'm rocking. I've been rocking Caddis for a couple years. They make amazing progressive readers, which I wear. Also, they make sunglass readers, anti-glare, anti-smudge coating, anti-scratch, and anti-aging. That's why I look mad young when I wear them. I'm just kidding. But they make amazing frames. Caddis, so stoked to have you guys part of the podcast. You can go to caddislife.com/Toby10 and get $10 off your first purchase. Stoked. Thank you, Caddis. Welcome to the fam.